Hey, everybody, welcome to the Atlanta Falcons Beard Game show, and we are going to be talking Falcons now. We got a couple of people that are supposed to stop by to join us, but right now we have our guy, Ladarius Brown. Man, finally back. You had a couple of issues going on. Glad everything's okay. So, want to just thank you for coming back, and then just want to let you know you were missed. So, how you been doing, brother?
I've been doing good, and I just want to say this thank you to all of you. Your thoughts and your prayers, and absolutely everything. But I'm glad you guys held it down very well in my absence. So, so I'm just glad to be back here, talk some Falcons football and more.
Oh yeah, man. We got some stuff to talk about because first of all, let's just in case anyone forgot, the final score was the Aints 24, the Falcons 26. Now look, it's a win. I'm happy, but we got some takeaways. Okay, so Darius, since you're back, what's your takeaways on the Falcons game, man?
When you watch the game, listen. First of all, a win is a win. I guess if you want to
Yes.
put it in that context, but knowing me, it's by the numbers. Sometimes the score can be deceived. Here's the thing. I'm just going to read off some facts from the game.
Okay.
So for the Falcons, they have 14 first downs. New Orleans had 25. We had no offensive touchdowns. The Saints had 3.
Mm-hmm.
We had 4 field goals. The Saints had 1. 9 penalties to the Saints 6. On
Mm-hmm.
third down, 4 of 11, 36%. What the Saints have, they were 7 of 13. They were about 54%.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, time of possession, they got us 35 minutes, 42 seconds. Now, I say that to say this. And people will say, yes, the win is a win. Absolutely. But
Yes.
but we have to look at this offense. And the defense making a big play, Trey Anderson with the pick six. But when we look at this offense, there's still concerns, and we're entering the second month of the season. And we're
Yep.
still having questions that we had at the beginning that we had last month to start the season, which is concerning. But here's the problem. And we can say a win, like I said, win is a win, but I think Coach Ross said, it was a team win, and I respectfully disagree. This was about special teams and the defense. The offense, besides a couple of big runs from Bijan, a couple of the offense did not do great. And,
No.
and it feels like that's a recurring theme and a recurring issue with this team. And look, listen, we won a game. Hey, we're 2-2, we're 500, great. But when we talk about we start playing our division starting Thursday, which we'll talk about later in the show. We
Mm-hmm.
got to do something because here's the reality. C-Dub, we're 29th in the league in third downs. We're 29th in the red zone.
Hold on. Hold on. I got to do this. So, yes, Falcons takeaways. Number one, we're going to give shout outs to defense and special teams. There's a reason why. That was the only players that showed up, apparently, because
Yeah.
the big point is concern on offense. Is it coaching or is it players? And then we would go into our preview for the Buccaneers versus the Falcons. So Ladarius has just told you what our lineup is without even knowing what our lineup was. So go ahead, keep going, brother. So
Yeah.
but yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, see, rehearsal's overrated, kids. There you go.
No, I
That's
love it though.
yeah.
That just says we're clicking, we're thinking alike. That's good.
For all the children out there, listen, rehearsal is only it'll lead you up to high school. When it gets to real world, you gotta wing it. You gotta pull a who's lines it anyway type situation. But
Exactly. Keep
going back,
talking.
but here's the problem. When Coach Rob talked, here's the thing. What was noticeably on missing is, I think, do we need to put Kyle Pitts on a milk carton? Do we need to put him on a poster? Because it seems that he's non-existent, and we took this guy with a top 5 pick.
Oh,
Here's the problem. If I was told Listen, I was told, and this is not. I was told, and I said this at I think the very first episode we did this, and you
Yes.
asked about X factors. I said, listen, Kyle Pitts should be the most improved player on this offense, and because he's a guy. Listen, he can play the slot. He can play it. Kyle Pitts, respectfully, has no business with 3 fingers on the ground trying to block. That's not what. That's not if you draft that type of player. That's a day 2, day 3 player you would draft. That's a veteran player. You got Charlie. You got dudes who can do that. You need Kyle Pitts to be there, out there on the field, in the slot, out there standing up. Treat him like the playmaker that he is, because at the end of the day, C-Dub, the penultimate problem is we can argue, oh, maybe Kyle Pitts is quitting on. But I could also make the point that Zach Robinson has zero idea of how to call plays. Because how do I know that? I just read you the numbers. Listen, people lie, but numbers don't. These are the numbers. Listen, you're 29th in the National Football League in third downs. I don't care what type of team you are. You have to convert on third downs. That's how you keep the drive going. That's how you get the time possession. That's how you keep the ball away from the other team's offense.
Oh, yes.
But in this game here, listen, Saints fans should be angry at themselves because they should have won this football game.
I'm not arguing with you.
But by all intents and purposes, they should have won this football game. But listen, the reality is, luckily we have a kicker, Young Waku, who can kick it all the way from Metro Atlanta and kick it right through. He can kick it from the Mason-Dixie line for all I care, and drain it. And that's how we just basically essentially did enough offensively, if you want to call it that, to get in Koo's field goal range. And luckily his field goal range is pretty wide.
Yeah. Can't argue. Look. My thing is this. Big takeaway. Our defense, or my big takeaway is this. Third down. We can't stay on the field if we're on offense, and we can't get off the field on defense. Yeah. That has become a problem. And you bringing numbers, this is why I wanted you on my show, because I knew there was something going on here. Look, would preseason have fixed all this? No. I'm not going to even say it would. But what it would have done was just at least kick the rust off some of these guys. What I also have an issue now is, now we have to ask the question, is it the coaching staff or is it the players? I'm sorry. Look at Minnesota. Look at what happens with a coach that knows how to use his players, maximizes these guys. Kevin O'Connell's doing something really special with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, the one that used to see ghosts, folks.
Yeah.
This guy, and they're undefeated right now. Watch him play against Green Bay. It looked like a different player. So that was something that, I'm watching, I'm just seeing, third down. Now, you could say, well, we were out of linemen. What? New Orleans was playing without linemen, and they were running all over us. Now, when Taysom got hurt, you could see where they were struggling. But again, we were getting killed by Taysom Hill. How many times have we heard that before? Look, the defense did enough to make the stops. Defense is not getting like a harsh grade by me. The special teams, look, I'm going to be real blunt here. If Shaheed does not try to field a punt in his own 2-yard line, this game's not even a question. All right. And then, you're seeing stuff and you're looking at Zach Robinson. Look, I get a good screen game. I do. I get, if you're good at screens, man, it can be dynamic. You can move the ball quick. You ever thought about, I don't know, the one that looked really good was Bijan Robinson, and we get a fluke penalty where it says holding. Now, the letter of the law, someone said it was the penalty, but, you could have. Look, all I'm saying is this. For some reason, we can't get flags. It looks like when our linemen are trying to go after the quarterback, the offensive line is allowed to hug, cuddle, not let go of our players. But when we just try to block, oh, we can't do that. But then it's just crazy as some of these plays that happen. And then it's like this. People are saying, well, Bijan shouldn't be the running back. It should be Kyler. Well, first of all, Bijan had a hamstring injury that's why they pulled him and put Tyler in. Well, okay, I'm not mad about this, by the way. If Tyler's hot, you play Tyler. I'm not even going to argue that point. What I'm aggravated with is I feel like our offensive coordinator needs to leave the booth, be on the field. And if he still can't figure this stuff out, Raheem, you're in big trouble because you hired a guy that has no experience.
He's never called plays.
Yeah, and it's like, you weren't on the show last week where I made the mention of, just because you go to a school and, under the greatest coach underneath, above you, and you learn, does not mean you're the whiz kid. You could be a D student. Well, congratulations. We have a D student. His name is Zach Robinson. Because, you're seeing what happens here. Hey, Miss Diva, want to thank you for coming by. Yes, that's Miss Diva. So, and Miss Diva, if you end up wanting to join the show, you can. Just let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something. I'll put the link in the chat in a bit. But yeah, so me, Diva, John, we were all chatting. After the game, Ladarius, I messaged John. And I'm like, everyone's talking about how we just won this game. And I keep going, how can y'all feel like this was a win when I'm looking at it like a loss? Like the Georgia-Alabama game, I wasn't going to really bring this up, but, it is what it is. They fought, came back, get the lead. They lost, but you know what? They fought. I learned more about that team. I'm watching this team. And I feel like when it comes to our offensive line, we might be good to get to the red zone, or even close to kicking a field goal, and then we malfunction. It's either the offensive line, it's either a tackle, it's a center that can't stop playing with his balls. It's something. Which, Noozle, dude, stop picking up the ball. Someone should have told him to stop playing with his balls. I mean, seriously, because he just kept on picking it up. I'm like, I really thought that was what Wes was going to say on the program, because he was like, will someone tell him to stop? No, that was Arch that said that. I mean, Arch was getting mad. It's almost like Arch had money on it. Okay, so do you think Coach Raw will take over play? Ooh, well, this is it. Okay, we're gonna answer that, but that's a good one.
That's a very good
one. Yeah, it is, because if we're talking play call for the defense, I think you're okay. You just got to start bringing the heat sometimes. Ladarius, you saw the injuries. You saw the people that weren't playing for New Orleans. We should have went after this line. Yeah. Derek Carr is not scrambling. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny here, but, and that's what I'm saying. And if they're holding you that much, somebody's got to throw a flag eventually. I mean, between Judon, Jarrett, Onyemata, Harrison, somebody's got to get there. I mean, I thought Troy played well after, he was very lackadaisical, but then it switched almost after that interception, actually, because he started making a lot of tackles and everything. But what did you think about the defense? Is there anyone that you wanted to shout out or anything about that? And then you give your take about the Coach Raw taking over play calling.
Well, here's the thing. I'll answer the first question.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see more of a blitz, because to your point, listen, Derek Carr is no Jaden Daniels. He's no Lamar Jackson. You can blitz him. That front seven could have blitzed and made his life miserable. And listen, like you say, listen, somebody's bound to throw a flag. There's a ref behind you. There's two refs. There's refs on the sides. Somebody's going to see a hold or two.
Mm-hmm.
So I would ideally like, Judon. You have Judon. You have Zach. So you could have blitzed because listen, we all saw the injuries. Like that's how you take advantage. Like their offensive line, blitz them because the worst case scenario. Because listen, they went downhill after Taysom Hill to a certain degree. Injuries will, I don't want to say it was the theme of the game, but it's about capitalizing. It's about capitalization. I would have liked to see more blitzing, especially from the from our line. But sitting linebackers is not the worst idea either. If you're Jimmy Lake and Raheem Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Now to go to Diva's very good question here. I think a conversation has to be had with Zach Robinson because I don't think the defense is to the point where you take it away. I think the defensive play calling, it's not. I would like to see more blitz packages. I would like to see more of that, more of aggressiveness because they ran their touchdowns came on the ground.
Yeah.
So
and Jimmy Lake is the defensive coordinator, so that's why I'm assuming defense because I don't know if he's got a guy that can call offense either.
Yeah, that's the problem, and I think when you hire. Here's the thing. You can see the difference in how teams are playing. Look at Washington. Washington hired Cliff Kingsbury, who's had experience, as a head coach. But I'm talking about he's been play calling since college.
Yeah.
Since he was at Texas Tech, and then he comes to the NFL. I think I can't name the other school. He's play call. He knows how to call a game.
Yeah.
So. And you see how the offense for Washington is looking. Like he knows what to call for Jaden Daniels. He knows what makes you feel comfortable. This is what makes you feel comfortable. And notice his completion percentage is out of this world. Smart throws.
Yeah.
That's like, best completion in the first 4 games of a career. Like that's play calling. Because and the reason why I say it's similar is because Dan Quinn is a defensive coach, just like Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
And so Dan said, I need to hire a guy who knows what they're doing, calling plays. Not saying Dan does, but listen, Dan's bread and butter has always been defense. Get an offensive guy who knows how to call plays and knows how it works. Cliff Kingsbury's a guy who fit the bill, and you're seeing it. And you talked about it with Minnesota, with Kevin O'Connell. Listen, Kevin O'Connell was an offensive coordinator before he became the head coach. He knows how to call plays. And listen, this is not a knock on Zach, but my concern is I understand you got to learn somewhere, but here's the problem. Zach has to learn how to call plays for Kirk Cousins. Learn how look at your personnel. And I feel that if you're Coach Raw, this puts him in a position where if this offense keeps going, like I said earlier, 29th on third down, 29th in the red zone, at some point, C-Dub, there's a conversation that needs to be had somewhere in that building, in the ATL. At Flowery Branch, there needs to be a conversation. Because this team, when you look at the roster, and we talk about this week 1, we talked about resumes.
Yeah, I'm reading it too. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah.
So Jaden is in a similar offense that was in college, and I agree. Good, it was a good hire. I'm not confident in Zach. I feel he's still in his QB mindset. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Anytime Diva agrees with me, I feel good. So
she knows her stuff. So
so I feel good. I'm like, thanks, Diva. Now I feel I'm not just blabbing up and talking with the beard and everything. So
you're fine. You're good. You're good, brother.
But like Diva said, I think Zach Robinson was a quarterback coach.
Yeah,
he was not asked to call plays.
Yeah,
here's the reality. And you mentioned like the coaching tree, like Sean McVay produced like Zach. You see Zach Taylor over there in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
you're seeing, and then you see. But here's the problem. And like Jaden, like Diva hit the nail on the head. Listen, he's playing in a similar offense that he was in college. So Cliff Kingsbury knew that. A good offensive coordinator knows what makes the quarterback make them feel comfortable, make them feel good. And here's the reality. The way Cliff Kingsbury's calling plays, that's based on he's had experience at every level.
Yeah.
At the collegiate and the pro level. So he knows how to call his head coaching record. We're not going to talk about that. We're not here for that.
Yeah, we're not.
But
all right. Yep. But let's also we got a visitor.
I'm going to stop talking for John.
We got a visitor because Mr. John has shown up in his truck. It's a nice day. I know he had a wonderful appointment, so I appreciate you showing up. John, how's it going, man?
Well, they took more out than they left in.
That's how it be sometimes, John.
Did they make you pay for it? That's the question.
They look. I don't know whether it's good news or bad news that they're going to defer payment or not. So, a lot of times, when you defer payment, that's an automatic signal that you're going into 17 to 22% interest territory on various things. So, hey, man, but these things, these toothaches, you got to throw them off as soon as possible, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I tell you. But go ahead and finish your thought. I'm just coming in. I'm listening to you guys. And after you guys get through, because I interrupted you.
Oh, no. You're fine.
You never interrupt me.
This is the Falcons takeaway. We're talking about the takeaways from the game. You can shout out the defenses, which was fun because they did an amazing job. You can shout out special teams, but we got to talk about the meat of the problem, our offense. And John, I messaged you about it. You messaged me. I loved your reply because it was true. We're watching the game, and like I told Ladarius, you watched the Bulldogs play. You were like, okay, the Bulldogs, even though they fell behind, they came back, they took the lead, and it felt like, okay, even though they lost, they fought. They found a way to get back in it. Well, we won the game, but I kept telling you, I felt like we lost this game.
Yeah.
One thing that I have always said that, people disagree with me all the time about it because you have the camp that says a win is a win is a win is a win.
Yeah.
And then you have some coaches that say, I'll take a win any kind of way I can get it.
Yep.
And that stands to reason, the second thing, taking a win any kind of way that you get it. Mm-hmm. But you got to learn from how you win and you got to learn from how you lose.
Yeah. Because
the way that you won this week, and this is something that I always do with the Hawks, with the Braves, with the Falcons. Mm-hmm. If I won this way this week, can I win this way next week?
Yeah.
Can what I did this week translate over into what I do next week as a game plan, as a philosophy, as the way that I need to do it? And looking at this game Sunday, hell no.
Yep, I know.
You got by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah.
In this game. Because New Orleans let us hang around. Conversely, we let them hang around.
Yeah.
All it would have taken with a game that close is for somebody to miss a key tackle, somebody to get a penalty. Because, see, that 30-yard penalty we got, that put us down in field goal range.
Hold on. But, John, then when we got there, we were throwing the ball deep. We weren't even trying to move it closer to make sure that Koo would kick it no problem. By the way, John, did you hear what Ladarius said about where we rank red zone and also on third downs?
Oh, see, no, I didn't. And I think the numbers are going to hurt more than my memory.
Yeah, well, hold on. Go ahead, Ladarius, because I want
all right, let me get my reading glass. Okay, let me just pull these down a little. Okay. Let me just pull these down a little. Here's the thing, John. We're 29th in third down conversion. 29th in the red zone. And then, should I read the stats? I don't know if I'll read the stats real quickly from the game.
Yeah.
since I have my reading glasses on.
Yeah. Go for it.
So John, we had 14 first downs in the game. The Saints had 25. We had 0 offensive touchdowns. Saints had 3. We had 4 field goals. Saints had 1. 9 penalties. They had 6. We went 4 of 11, 36% on third down. The Saints, 7 of 13, 54%. Time of possession, the Saints had it for 35 minutes and 42 seconds. We had it for 24, 18.
Now,
So the only thing we let in was field goals and penalties. And thank God we got Young Wei Koo. Which, other than that, if we had like Ray Finkel or somebody, we'd have been screwed.
so think about this.
Yeah.
In that first down count that you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
I think we had how many possessions did we have?
Oh,
I've got the post drive chart.
Yeah, I'll find it.
I can pull it up. You guys keep talking. I'll find it.
But those first downs that you just listed, most of them were on the start of drives after the ball is being kicked to you.
Exactly.
You didn't earn them because the third down stat tells the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, see, and this is me. And I asked this question. I think I asked this question one show. I think C-Dub, I think you missed that particular show. But I asked this question. What would your defense rather take the field after? A 3-and-out or a score?
Score. They'll take a score.
No matter how short it took or how long it took, the defense wants to come out there on the field after you score, and not necessarily field goals. Now, everybody will take a last-second field goal that will end the game. Everybody will take that. Mm-hmm. But during the game, offense, you got to do your job. Your job is to score a touchdown, bring the maximum amount of points that you can back from your possession. Now, we have had some long drives. If you look back, I think it was game 1, game 2, and game 3. We did have some long drives. I think 2 of our touchdown drives last week against the Chiefs were 70-yard drives taken from 3 to 5 minutes off of the clock. So we can do that. We have shown the capability of doing that. However, the play calling, as you guys have talked about, leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, it is timid. It is weak. It is halting. I mean, it's not aggressive. That pass that he threw to Mooney on the right sideline, where the pass interference took place. Mm-hmm. Now, come on, man. You can't. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this more? Because that flipped the field. That one pass play, because see, it was going to be a completed pass or pass interference. Either one. It was both. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because the thing is, it's easy to bait a cornerback into a pass interference play. Easy to do so. Yeah. Lob that thing down. Because see, as far as I'm concerned, if it does get intercepted, it's just like a punt.
Yeah. If you do,
it's just like a punt. Yeah. You know, you got 13 men out there equivalent to stop him running back. The 2 sidelines and the field, along with your 11 players. Mm-hmm. You know, so throw it down there. All of this throwing sideways. And see, these screens, these people calling. Mm-hmm. Boy, why in the world are you throwing the ball 15 yards sideways to give a cornerback a head start where he doesn't have to go but 5 yards to come and knock the snot out of you with a running start, with a head of steam. It just doesn't make any sense. And see, there's a play that I saw the Philadelphia Eagles run, where they sent a man in motion, back behind the quarterback, back behind the other running back, and when he starts upfield, they hike the ball and they throw the ball to the man while he's wide open running.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm. Why are we not doing that? Why are we not doing that? Then on top of that, now, and this is gonna be all because I'm seeing y'all starting to fall asleep.
No, we good.
At any rate,
we got more guests coming. Don't worry, you can do it.
Now look. We got our reputation for running in fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2023. We had Fursker as a fullback.
Yeah.
Then we had Smith the next year.
Yep.
Falcons running 107, one man getting 150, 160 yards. Because of the fact that you had a fullback back there. Now, this past Sunday, that long run that Derrick Henry had for the touchdown, fullback. Now imagine this.
Yep, I'm listening.
You got Jackson.
Yep.
You got Henry.
Yep.
And you got a fullback back there.
Yeah.
The fullback made one block.
Yep.
Caught an offensive lineman.
Yep.
Stood him up.
Yep.
Henry ran straight down 75. Wide open.
Yeah.
That's how we used to make our bread here.
Yeah.
Under Arthur Smith. We need a fullback in this offense. We need a fullback in this offense.
Not gonna argue that. Yep.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. You're going to sit up here and stack people all the way across the doggone line, got a single back there, like you got the Iron Curtain in front of you, and no, the big missile shield in front of you where nobody can get back there to. Man, no, you need a fullback. We need a fullback desperately, because I'm gonna tell you, if Bijan had a fullback in front of him, he would get 1,000 yards. He would get 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And Huntley, excuse me, not Huntley, but Algier, man. See, this is how running backs get wore out. You slam him up against the line with nobody to block for him, so that he can get a good head of steam after that after that fullback takes out that linebacker, and he goes on down the field. The only thing in front of him are cornerbacks and safeties. And those are the ones that always have to make those business decisions as to whether they're going to try to stop a freight train or not.
All right.
Why aren't we doing that?
All right. Well, here I want to go back to Diva. She's got some things that she wrote, so I want to get to her comments. So Falcons have yet to have a complete game. That was an ugly win. And I agree. The Falcons need a complete game. I don't know if this is going to be it either. Speak on time management. What is wrong with Coach Raw timeouts, letting Saints not score? I think she's talking about that drive before we had that 1 minute left to kick the field goal. Look, all I know is this. Rock does some things that I have no idea what he's doing. And, I think it was the game before, like with the Chiefs, where the Chiefs were trying to call a timeout, but Rob was trying to call it. And I'm like going, are you guys, I'm a little confused here. Yeah. And then this is a great comment here, because she also said, I've noticed and observed about Kurt. He had JJ in Minnesota. Go up and get any ball. I have noticed Kurt isn't accurate with throwing as I perceive. Now, here's what I'm going to say to that. Not just JJ. Jefferson is an amazing receiver. Let's just give him his props. The guy can make any catch on any field. What about the tight end? Kurt was always connected with the tight end. He was always feeding the tight end. right. And then, here's another comment because we're going to have to do this, but, guess what? We should have made CP a tight end and traded Pitts to the Steelers. Now, I don't know about turning Cordero Patterson into a tight end, but, I see where the point is, but I'm going to go here, guys. 4th overall draft pick. I know Ladarius brought this up. 4th overall. And we're still asking, when's he going to show up? And look, when you don't play preseason, I'm going to quote John, you don't play preseason, you don't get that meat seasoned, it's not going to taste good and the football ain't going to look good. And now people want to say, well, give it time. How much more? Because now you're playing your NFC South rivals. You beat the Saints. John, you're totally right. If you were told, hey, do the same thing this Thursday. So you're telling me that Tampa Bay is going to fumble the ball inside their 5-yard line when they're receiving the kick, and they're going to bat a pass, and we're going to get the ball, take it in, and then kick field goals. We'll win the game. You can't live like that. I remember Raheem telling everybody they were going to run the South, that this offense was going to be clicking. And I also remember Raheem being braggadocious about the part of saying, we're not going to be in this part next year. We're not going to be like this next year. We're not going to be picking in the top 10. Okay? Because my feeling is this. If you're in the top 10 of the draft, I'm going to be real blunt. The man's going to have to lose his job because you've been writing checks, and I don't think this owner is going to want to have to deal with you writing more checks, even though nothing has changed. I mean, that's just my opinion. What do y'all think?
Well, hey, man, you can go because
I'm just joking. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm drinking some water. Go ahead.
You're choking on water. I got you.
Hey. I'm gonna say this. The offensive coordinator is definitely going to lose his job. It will be a situation where you'll have to start sacrificing some people.
Yeah, he has to.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to, instead of you going, might have to do the Dan Quinn. Sacrifice all the coordinators. Put them on the chopping block just to save your rear end.
Already. These are the guys I went up the bat for at the end of the year. See us, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Dan Quinn did. That was Dan Quinn. I mean, Dan Quinn, look, I thought it was Abraham and Isaac. Here you go.
He put him on the stone. He told them to lay down. He's going to take care of them for the rest of their
life. Hey, where the sacrifice at? It will be provided, son. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, Zach. The sacrifice is right here.
Yeah, it will be provided. Don't you worry about that, son. Don't you worry about that. But see, something's going to have to happen because, see, look, okay, all of your touchdowns came from the defensive units.
Yeah,
special teams defense, special teams defense, and your regular defensive unit. That's where your touchdowns came from. Now, someone looking on the outside in and just looking at the score, the Falcons had 14 points, huh? They scored 14 points, 2 touchdowns. And you don't look at how it happened.
Yeah.
See, and it would take a little more digging for you to find out how it happened. And then once you find that out, do you mean that I spent, and sorry people, I got to go here.
Yep, say it.
You spent $180 million on a quarterback. Mm-hmm. You drafted a quarterback in the first round.
That
you went and got 5 receivers.
Yep.
You picked a tight end at number 4 overall 3 years ago.
Yep.
And your defense and the field goal kicker were the people that scored. Because see, poor young Wei Koo, poor Koo, he gonna kick a field. They gonna line him up back at 65 yards. What are they gonna do? They gonna line him up around about 65, 67 yards, and he's gonna kick the ball, and his leg gonna fly up right after the damn ball, and both of them gonna be good.
The Simpsons episode.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
He gonna
What up,
kick
Ron?
his leg right out the damn socket.
Yep.
Because see, I look.
And Raheem's gonna look at him. You got another one in you?
Yeah. See, my problem with this is that, okay, 4 field goals, fine, but when you're getting further and further back away from the goal line because your offense can't get you any closer, that's a problem for me.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Now, okay, man, want to set a record? That's fine. Go ahead and set a record. And see that I'm gonna say this here also before I shut up here for a second. We had 38 seconds left in the first half and 3 timeouts.
Oh, I know you're going here.
Why? I don't understand. Now the people, I said the same thing to the people that I was with, and a matter of fact, I was with Ryan when Ryan came here. I was down there with them. And I was talking to one of the people that's on this panel, and I'm trying to tell him, hey, man, you got 3 timeouts, and you got 38 seconds left on the clock.
And Kirk Cousins, throw
something down there.
Yeah, well, you have Kirk Cousins for
something
this.
down there.
You got a guy that can do this.
Yeah, you got 3 timeouts. Yeah. It was an incomplete pass. You don't have to use one. You might get a pass interference call. I mean, I used to love coaches that, okay, you got 40 seconds, 38 seconds, 35 seconds. You got all your timeouts. Why not get some cheap points before the end of the half?
Yeah.
Some cheap points. Get cool down there. You know, give me 3 more. Because, I mean, I just don't understand. I just don't understand that. You know, because see, even though you are getting the ball back, you can get some cheap points, and you will never believe what a last-second touchdown does to the opposition when you get them right before half.
Yeah, like they're holding. Hopefully, all right, guys, we're about to go, and then you go on the attack like that. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits them in the gut. That's one of those. It messes with them because they're like, dang it, you know. Especially if they got to come back on the field and have to play, you know, you got to play offense. Yeah.
And see, the thing is that I want to get a reputation, just like it was when Glanville was here.
Yep.
Look, ain't no telling what we finna do. Ain't no telling what we finna do. You know, it might look like we about to lose, but we're going to snatch a victory out of the jaws of defeat. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to be unpredictable. You know, the book says you do this. Oh, we're going to do something else. You know, seat of the pants coaching. And see, that's something else too. These people are coaching by analytics and not the seat of their pants because they don't have the experience to coach by the seat of their pants.
Yeah.
They still wearing diapers up under them pants.
Just the visual now.
I'm sorry. Oh, that was horrible. Yeah.
Go ahead there, Ladarius.
Oh, that's when you transition to me. Okay, great job.
You told me to go first. I told
you told.
No. It's on C-Dub for ending it on that way with the underpants and the diaper. That's now I gotta visualize and I gotta espouse my words after hearing that.
Oh Lord, I'll tell you what.
I'm not blaming John. I'm blaming you, C.
Listen, of course.
Listen, I believe in accountability. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, okay,
we'll talk about this in the post show.
Yeah,
notes.
we'll talk about the post. Yeah.
Post show notes.
What we'll do is we'll let you talk, and then we'll let our guest Ron say something too after this.
Ron,
what's up, Ron? Your AS offense. So what we're doing now? Do you think we are better off with Zach Rob? I'll have one better. I want to hear Ladarius, but here's the question I'm going to throw around everywhere too. What's our identity? Because I don't think we have one. But go ahead, Ladarius.
I'm just gonna go back to something I believe I said week one before. I talked about resumes.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about what we had. We had the expectations we had based on resume, and Kirk Cousins' resume, Raheem's resume, and specifically Zach Robinson's resume. Here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing: I don't particularly care. Listen, it's great you coached under Sean McVay. That's great, but here's the reality: Zach Robinson didn't call plays for Matthew Stafford.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't call plays. That's on the resume. You're bringing a guy with an offense with talent, and it's shown in moments. Like I read the third down stats. He doesn't know how to call the game based on, and like John said, analytics are great, but sometimes you got to take the numbers out and just use what the eye test. You have to see what you see, because your job as the offensive coordinator is to maximize the skill set of your exactly. Is to max it. You have to see what you can bring out of Kirk Cousins because of his resume speaks for itself. But you're basing it on analytics. You're basing it on something that, listen, this is where experience matters. And I think what Sexy Red talked about, listen, there's nobody. Listen, Zach Robinson has to get this right, or he's going to be a one and done coordinator. That's all there is to it. Because the reality is this: there's no excuse in the world. We could talk about Kyle Pitt. I was told, and we were all told. To me, it reminds me. I don't know if you guys seen the Music Man. It's one of my favorite type of, and basically the character Harold Hill comes to this town,
Mm-hmm.
and basically convinces all these these people who can sing, and he I don't want to say he was a hoodwink but the moral of the story here is, we were told by Raheem that this offense is going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. He's Harold Hill.
Yeah. Yes.
He came into this town with the expectations of this offense because the defense was expected to improve to a certain degree. That wasn't the concern. The concern was, listen, we need a quarterback. We gave Kirk Cousins the money. We have Kyle Pitts here. We got Bijan. We got Tyler Algier. We got Drake London. And you're putting this all in the hands of a guy who's never called plays in his life. When there were, and people may say, "Oh, it's a big deal." It's like I understand you gotta hire to have experience, but not with this.
Yeah.
Because if Washington with Cliff, and like Sexy Red mentioned earlier about how Jaden Daniels looks comfortable in that offense because Cliff Kingsbury, that's because Cliff Kingsbury has the experience to look at what his quarterback does great.
Yeah.
It's called looking at what your quarterback does great, and you capitalize that, you bring it on the field. You take it from the film room to the field. Zach Robinson's problem is we don't have an identity because Zach Robinson has no idea how to call plays.
Yeah.
So how do we have an identity if this man can't call plays? And listen, yes, okay, he worked under Sean McVay, and that's super, and that's great. But did you call plays?
AKA the D student theory.
Like, did you call plays? Like, at the end of the day, you drafted Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
You got Bijan. You went offense. And you went out and got Kirk Cousins. And now, at some point, listen, folks, we're entering the second month of the season, and we're still having the same conversations we had 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's like, people listen, records can be deceiving. Okay, it can be an oasis. We're 2-2, but go look at the numbers. I read them. Like, listen, there's different ways to win football games. There's different ways to lose. At the end of the day, listen, go back to the eye test. If you're Zach Robinson, you have to see what Kirk Cousins does well, and you have too much film to see what he can do well. Mm-hmm. He has an elite receiver in Drake London. You have Kyle Pitts. You can do something. You can do, and you have two good running backs. And I say this, I call it the Noah effect. You need two of everything that's good. You got two good running backs.
Yeah.
You got two solid targets, and you can throw in Darnell Mooney in the mix as well. The Noah effect works. If you have two of everything, that's good. It doesn't have to be elite, but if it's good enough, you can do something. But if you're Zach Robinson, if you're the guy and you have no idea what you're doing, you're listen. This is too much talent to read the numbers, which it hurt my eyes just to see it and write it down. But the reality, and I'll say this to close. If you're Raheem Morris, you need to have a conversation with Zach, because at the end of the day, just like how John said when it came to Dan Quinn, listen, that bus, Raheem's gonna be on that bus, and unfortunately, Zach Robinson's gonna be in front of that bus, and it's gonna be like, I love you, Zach, and the next thing, hey Zach, could you go check something in front of that bus? Oh yeah, sure, baby. I think something's wrong with the engine. And then next thing you know, you see the headlights come on, the halogen lights come on, and you see Raheem behind the wheel. And where's Zach Robinson?
Who?
He's called out of a job. That's what it is.
Wow.
Boom, boom. Exactly.
Boom, boom.
All right, real quick. All right, hold on, Ron. I'll get to you. I promise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we also have another guy who just decided to come on in, and he's a fellow Beard member. We compliment the Beard, so you know how it goes. Mr. Terry, or T-Will, if you will. And I got to say this now before Ron goes. Because Diva just said it, so I got to bring it up. Because Belichick would be calling it out too.
Yeah.
I got to go here. Because Ron, John, I got to go here. Makes me wonder, look, I didn't want Belichick here, or I wanted him here, because if you told me I could get Josh Daniels, I'd be like, all right, I think I can swallow my pride for that guy. I don't want the rocket scientist or the son who likes to lick his lips, because that was weird, and he looks like my best friend. But anyway, but yeah,
that was a lot to unpack right there.
I know. But I got to go here, man. This offense, Ladarius talked about it. Third down, we rank 20. You said 29th.
Yes,
on 29th on third down, and then on red zone we rank
the same
29.
number.
29. All right. So we're not. Look, this isn't we're beating up the Falcons, but this is something that we're all looking at going. This offense.
Yeah, we is.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we is.
Did you not hear me with the bus? I mean, that was
you just ran over our offensive coordinator. Yes, you did.
Me and John were watching it. We could have stopped it, but we didn't.
Well, John said back it up even further.
Exactly. We were like this.
Bloom.
Hold on. Ladarius was more like Pete Dunne from WWE.
Yeah, but that was me. I was eating the sandwich. I'm like, yeah.
So, all right, guys. So Ron is going to go to Terry, because Terry, you just walked in. We're going to give you a minute to hear what Ron says, and then we go from there. But we just want to thank everyone that's commenting also. We have Tiff saying hello to the fam. Hello, fam. And then we got Diva speaking true facts about the offense. Yep. So, Ron, go ahead, Playboy. Ron April Thomas is in the house, folks.
Once again,
Hollywood boy.
Raheem Morris, he should have got somebody with experience. I got one OC in mind, Brian Leftwich.
Mm-hmm.
He called plays the year Tampa went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. Experience.
What's up, guys?
Number two, Zach Robinson. Zach Robinson, what the fuck you be doing? Somebody need to put Zach Robinson in front of Madden. Somebody buy Zach Robinson a PS5 and buy him a new Madden and tell him, sit your down in front of the Madden. Don't get up for nothing. I don't care.
You can't call screens.
Huh?
You can't call screens.
Nope. Pitch out some better plays. Use your talent. Everybody around you, use them. Kyle Pitts, 0 and 3. They're not good enough. You got picked what? The 4th in the
Overall.
draft. 0 and 3 Sunday? Really? Raheem Morris. Arthur Blank should tell you, hey, player, come on in my office. What the fuck you doing? This the best you to do? Because at the end of the day, he the face of the team, Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
This the best you to do with Zach Robinson? Time clock and I don't got that much time. I'm getting old now and see now. I don't got that much time. I want me a chip before I go to the upper room. If y'all know what I'm saying.
Arthur's like, look, I paid y'all how much money? That could have given this man a stroke enough.
Right.
This man needs to be fun.
It go back to
He's called Bill Belichick. Hey, what do I have to do to come get you?
it go back to, I believe, Zach Robinson. You need somebody over you, like Brian Leverett. I hate to say this, dude. I can't stand him. Chucky.
John Gruden.
Yeah, John Gruden. Another one out there.
I actually thought of his name as a guy that, or just somebody that can help, because we haven't really discussed this, but the offense, you hired somebody that has no experience, and it's like, okay, yes, you could get away with it, but usually you have some kind of foundation.
Right.
I don't know.
It go back to what you said, C Dub. What is our
identity?
Right? Run the ball. Run the damn ball.
You know what's real quick? So our offense coordinator, quarterback passing game coordinator for 2022-2023 season. 2019 to 2021, he was the assistant quarterbacks coach. And then in 2020, he was the assistant wide receiver coach. That's all his experience goes.
Right.
So, So, Ron, I'm going to let T. Will speak, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Go ahead, Ter.
All right, guys. Are we talking about the state of the Falcons offense, or are we discussing their performance this past game?
I'll catch up. So we were discussing takeaways, and that's what it says over here, but I haven't been able to change the things. But really now we're talking about the offensive concerns, because now we're looking at this team in 4 games, and we're still not seeing any connections. We're not honestly, the one thing I can say is I know Kurt has a connection with Mooney and Ray. But when it comes to the red zone, we can't find anybody. And then if it's not Kurt, it's maybe the players maybe ran the wrong route, or the offensive line. Like we had Newsel fumbling around with the ball, and then we had. I still don't think Jake Matthews got that penalty on holding. I'll take that to my grave. I don't call that a hold. I thought that was just a play that they should have just let it go. But anyway, so it's like this off, because not only that, we also got to be honest. The Buccaneers have not looked like they've lost any steam. Baker's got these guys playing good. He's not turning the ball over. So, this team does not, where we thought, oh, they'll be fine. Let's just focus on the Saints, and then we'll get these guys. This is just as a must-win as the Saints game was, I thought.
Right.
So, what say you, T?
Yeah, I would agree. This past performance was that being said, there were some missed opportunities. Okay, there were some missed opportunities. To your point, that holding call was a bit aggressive down in the end zone. But with that being said, we definitely did not perform offensively in the way that you would like. I got to be honest. We got a touchdown off special teams. We got another touchdown off of an interception. And the rest, I think we had field goals, right? We scored 26 points.
Well,
Saints are a good defense. I'll give them that. We have faced some really good defenses in the first 4 games. With that being said, you would think by the 4th game that you would start to see some progression. You would start to see some improvement. Now, with that being said, we scored 26 points. Is that the most we've scored?
I'm looking it up now. I think so. Yes.
Yes.
I want to say that that's the most we've scored. So hey, man, maybe we figured it out. Maybe if we can get a turnover on special teams and an interception run back for a touchdown, that's fun. That's frustrating. I'm kidding. No, in all seriousness, guys, we definitely, you called it. The offense has got to improve. No other way to say it. Now, does that mean we can't improve? No, I don't believe that. I believe, again, Zach Robinson is a first-year coordinator, and you know what? There's no substitute for experience. And you don't know what you don't know until you're into it, right? And I guess the thought process is hopefully by the end of the season, we can see some maturity. That's a little aggressive. We can see some progression in the play call. Hopefully by the end of the season, we can see more scoring. We can see more continuity in the routes, more continuity in the transitions. And in all honesty, we can see better conversions on 3rd down. Somebody alluded to that, and I think that is one of our biggest issues on 3rd down. For whatever reason, we don't convert. Now, with that being said, you got to stay on schedule. And that's one thing that I've noticed. We haven't really done a great job of staying on schedule. We'll be first and 10, and then it's 2nd and 8, and 3rd and 7, and you'd like to be 3rd and 5 or less. So that's just my take. We definitely have to improve the offense. The thing about it is Zach is a quarterback whisperer, so I'd like to think that ultimately he would see it open up on the field. But again, there's no substitute for experience, and he's just got to go through it. And unfortunately, we have to go through it with him. So yeah, that's my opinion, guys. And back to you, Chris.
All right. So so this is kind of why, some people will be like, well, it's just October.
Chris, first off, I'm rude. Let me say hello to everybody. So,
yes, go ahead. I saw it.
I met Ron over there, and Chris, I know you, and we had a great time the other Friday or whenever that was. You guys are hilarious.
Just father.
Is it Ladarius or Darius? Smith. It's Darius.
You can call me Ladarius or Darius, whatever makes you feel comfortable.
Hey man, it's all about you, bro. So Ladarius, it's nice to meet you. I have seen a couple of your shows. Very witty with it, and as you just proved earlier, and also very funny and very poignant, and you definitely know football. So it's good to meet you. It's good to meet everyone. I know this guy that just joined us. What up, Smitty 11K? How you doing?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this legend, and yes, he's a legend. He's going to probably tell me I better be quiet because I'm on that BS. But anyway, this is the man, the myth, the legend. That is the 7 feet tall Smitty 11K. What's up, Smitty?
Yeah, you overtook that by 3 feet because I'm 4 feet 11. But
hey, look, gotta give you love, brother.
But I gotta give a shout out to my boy Ron, man. Ron been supporting me a long time too, man. Ladarius, he the man on TikTok. I got to catch up with him on TikTok because I can't get with it. I don't know why, but TikTok just ain't my thing, man. But I'm trying.
Hey, Ladarius is a guy that keeps it hustling, man, and he's like one of my. I love having him as my co-host, man. We talk football, we talk wrestling, so it's awesome. So, all right, before we go into the topic real quick, so Smitty's here for a little bit, so we're not going to hold him on too long, but we want him here. Thank you for showing up. So week 5 through 12, while Terry was talking, we play a streak from 5 to week 10. Nothing but NFC teams. So this is basically what's going to rank you if you're in the playoffs. If you're in the playoff hunt. All right. One game against the Cowboys, one game against the Seahawks, and then you're playing basically by week 10. You have played your division. You've pretty much played everybody but one team, which will be the Carolina Panthers, which will be at
the last game.
Yeah. So this game is very, that's why I said these games are important. That's kind of what it's like when you watch it. You're not trying to go, oh man, I'm scared. No, it's just you can't depend on a player to fumble the ball at a 2-yard line. A lot of teams would tell your guy, don't touch that ball. For some reason, Shaheed did. Guess what? That's them problem, not our problem. Hey, Tony. By the way, I know your team lost. Hey. Anyway, the New Orleans guy. Tell him I said hi. You please bury him. Bury him, Smitty.
He gonna hit tonight, boy. I'm telling you.
Oh, I know.
25 minutes. In about 25 minutes, he gonna hit.
We gotta go live. We just need to go live to watch that. But anyway, because he won't shut up about the Falcons. It was awesome. So,
please, yeah.
So, but yeah, we had that, and then it's like, the interception you could probably see happen because we got Simmons, we've got Bates, we've got guys making plays, and man, did we ever. Smitty, the biggest concern on offense, because Ladarius talked about it, on third down and in the red zone, we ranked 29th out of 32
I'm not
teams.
surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
So, I mean, and not just that, we're talking about Kyle Pitts. We get it. He's 4th overall, but dude, at some point, when does, is it a quarterback needs to just get with the guy, learn some things? Because Kirk Cousins can play with a tight end. But for some reason, it's like
my boy Berto.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit earlier. Kirk Cousins is known for having slow starts, but at what point do you say you got to get it together, man? Because we can't lose any more games. If we lose 2 to 3 more games, the playoffs are going to get that much harder. Even though we have an easier stretch on the back end, but I think Kirk Cousins right now is the biggest problem. I can't even put it all on Kyle Pitts because at the end of the day, the quarterback sees what's on the field, and I've seen Kirk Cousins miss some wide open plays. These first 4 games. So you have to put a bulk of the pressure on him, and you have to put the rest on Zach Robinson. These 2 guys have to get on the same page to see what works with this offense, because don't get me wrong, I've said it. Kyle Pitts is lazy, and I'm gonna say it again, because you 6'6", 255 pounds. You need to learn how to use your body as a basketball tool. And what I mean by that, you need to learn how to block out cornerbacks, linebackers, safeties, and use that 83-inch wingspan to catch the football. Because as I said, if Kirk Cousins throws that ball just a tad bit higher on that pass interference, I don't care if he get past in the field or whatever happened right there, he's going to catch that ball because of his wingspan. So in the red zone, if you're not going to use Tyler Algier or Bijan Robinson to get the ball in the end zone, use Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Even if you have to throw a back shoulder fade, do it. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's up to Kirk Cousins to get this offense ready. And we can't even use the offensive line for an excuse. Storm Norton did his job.
Yeah.
Ryan Nazeal did his job. So at the end of the day, it's the quarterback. What have we needed the last 3 years?
I'm sorry.
The quarterback. So go ahead.
No, I was just reminding about Newsel with those penalties. Man, those calls right at the 3rd down. It was like, or 4th down in inches, and he did that thing with the ball, and I'm going, what are you doing? And it's like, stop the run we were having. But yeah, and here's the thing, before people start saying, well, Kurt shouldn't be, we shouldn't be asked that. How much did we pay Kurt?
A lot of money.
Oh, no. 12 years in the league, he should be a little bit further ahead than where he is now, injury or no injury. He should have caught up to the game speed and everything. Preseason over with.
Thank you. Because now we're in week 5. We got Tampa Bay. We've seen what Tampa can do. What are your concerns about coming into Tampa Bay versus the Falcons? We're going to just go round robin. We'll start with Smitty, and then we'll just go around. Okay, guys?
Very quick. I'm going to say the Falcons secondary against Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. The Patriots had to show up this game. They have to put pressure on Baker Mayfield and force turnovers. If they don't and he gets the time to throw, we all know what Mike Evans can do. We all know what Chris Godwin can do. So the only thing that hope and prayer is that this secondary hold up against those two receivers, because Rashad White hadn't been Rashad White all season. Bucket Irvin just took over their job as running back, the young guy. So I think you can kind of slow him down because he's young, but don't get me wrong. He's one of those guys that can bust a big play at any moment. But Mike Evans, Chris Godwin is going to be our biggest problem. If we can keep them in check somehow, I think that's the recipe for a win.
Yeah. That's, all right. So, T. Will, what you say about the Buccaneers?
Oh, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. That offensive line and that offense look like they're clicking. It's going to take a total effort. It's going to take offense, defense, and special teams. Look, I don't fear anybody. Let me, because if we play to our capacity, we can beat anybody. Okay. So, hey, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not afraid of Tampa Bay. I'm not afraid of Baltimore. I'm not afraid of anybody. If we play to the capacity that I know we can, if we all, and that includes coaches as well, right? So, Zach designs a scheme that is befitting of this offense, and if we can go out and execute it, I'm not worried. Now, that being said, I think it will truly be a challenge. I think week 5, when we go up against Tampa Bay in our house, we will really see where we are because the team is sound. So I'm not ready to make a prediction yet. I know, again, same thing. We can't turn over the ball. We need at least 2 turnovers. We got to play great defense, which we've been doing. How long is Troy Anderson out, by the way? Because he
don't know yet.
Got it. Okay, so they haven't said that yet. We signed for Sean Evans, right?
Right.
Yeah, we did.
This team.
Which probably means he's going to be out at least 2 or 3. But again, just my thoughts. If we play like we need to play, if we can get 2 turnovers, if we can not turn the ball over, play good defense, I think we got a shot, guys. That's me.
Yeah, on a short week, though, I think J.D. Bertrand going to get the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he will. Agreed. Chris, back to you.
All right. Hey, Ron, give me what you think, man, against Tampa.
Send the blitz. I told Baker Mayfield be in the back talking to the wife. How the kids doing? Yeah. The little ones fit? How my mom and my dad doing back there? Forget all that. We see if you send the blitz, Baker Mayfield will throw to interceptions. Safety, send on our corners. You gotta get what do you call it? Creativity.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
You gotta create turnovers. Send the blitz. I don't care what side it's coming from. Send them. Send those dogs. Unleash those dogs. We got pit bulls, not chihuahuas. Send them.
I go my boy John. He ain't at the strip club tonight. What's going on, John?
Man, John just escaped from the dentist, y'all. You just didn't see him flying by on the road, man. He was like, I got to get out of here.
Lord, how much?
See what side my hand over?
Yeah.
The other side hurt.
he about to backhand me afterwards.
Lord Hammers. But hey, Smitty, gentlemen, I'm sorry. I had to get to a place where I could get at least 2 bars on a signal, so I came on home.
You know you got.
Yeah, don't be telling these folk that you know you were getting that lap dance. Chill out.
All right, John.
Smitty, you of all people ought to know that there are certain things that can be told, and then there are others that can't.
You gotta remember, John's a good deacon. He doesn't want to, cloud the people's minds. Wow. Okay. So, John, what's your thoughts about Tampa Bay, this game coming up?
You better not. You Falcon, you better not go in there with the same mindset,
the same plays, the same philosophy. You better not even wear the same shoes going into this game Thursday night against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you tripping.
I mean, look, if you look back at the past 4 games, we've been winning by hook or by crook, not by design.
Mm-hmm.
Not by design. Because, see, you don't plan a game plan like this. Now, I understand trying to get turnovers, but turnovers are mistakes from the other team. You can't count on those. You cannot count on those to be a philosophy. Well, because see, a lot of times I hear people say, well, in order to win this game, we're gonna need 2 or 3 turnovers. Really? So what is your offensive unit doing out there? What is your offensive unit doing out there? You know, that's their job. They're supposed to score. And like I said earlier, Young Wei Koo, man, look, he's gonna be the bionic man because he's gonna need a robot leg after he kick his leg off after one of those 81-yard field goals. And see, now I wouldn't put it past this coaching staff to have that man line up at 7 and try to make it. And that just, like I said before, that just tells you how bad your offense is. The further back you put your field goal kicker, that shows just how bad your offense is because you can't get them any closer. Because you know, now one thing about Koo that I have noticed, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, the further back it is, the straighter he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you get him up close, man, that thing liable to curve over. You might have it going down Peachtree Street. That thing will end up in Augusta. So, because he'll put a hook on it. He'll put a hook on it that a fish will love. So,
oh my God.
So
You
my
ain't
thing is that wrapping up with you guys, boy, this offensive coordinator, man, this offensive coordinator and a little bit of Kirk Cousins is the only thing standing between us being a juggernaut, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Those two. And see, something else I was
So you
thinking
think Kirk Cousins in the way? You think he hurting us more than he helping us?
I'm think both of them. Now, Kirk Cousins does show, like I pointed out earlier today, that pass down the sideline that he hit Mooney on, thing of beauty. You know, the man had to grab him to stop him from running by. Okay. Now he missed on one similar to that in that last drive in the fourth quarter. But he just was off. Just was a little bit off.
But keep in mind, I said this week 1. Well, was it week 1 or week 2? I said this. His arm seems like it's dwindling down to being like a Matt Ryan type arm with that chicken tender. It's getting a little weak, and he can't make the throws he need to make. So just keep an eye on that. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm just saying that because we know age catches up after a while. So if that arm started to go a little bit more numb and limb, you got to think about making that change because we got to have those throws downfield. And you saw it, like you said, with Donnell Mooney going streaking down the sideline, damn near wide open, and he missed that throw. Threw it.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep an eye on.
Now, and let me say, I'm gonna say this one thing, and then I'm gonna get out. These young assistants and these youngins, what can he really tell Kirk Cousins when Kirk Cousins goes out there and messes up? In my opinion, it's just like talking to a baboon butt.
That's what I was just about to say. Slap him on the head, tell him to go to the bench and sit down for a minute.
Yeah. Sorry. And the reason why I say that, I remember vividly Bill Parcells getting into Phil Sim behind or Jeff Hostetler. Come here, son. What the hell was that? I mean, just going up one side, down the other.
He did Drew Bledsoe too.
Huh?
He did Drew Bledsoe too when he was in New England.
And the thing about it was, you get respect because you've been there a long time. You get respect because you've seen the wars. You get respect because you've done this versus the quarterback
you're supposed to be coaching.
Yep.
See, my thing is that this offensive staff, inclusive of the offensive coordinator, which after last week needs to be down on the field with him.
So he doesn't. Okay. So he can't stay in the overnight
down on the field with him, so that you can compare notes right there,
right?
And put somebody up in the booth who can look and see what they're doing. But the offensive coordinator need to be down there on the field, just like Sean McVay, the offensive coordinator of the LA Rams. He right down there on the field. Okay, he on the field, so that you guys can talk about what's going on, and if necessary, hang 10 up somebody's rear end for messing up.
Yep.
Because you're not supposed to be so. Man, look here. If Justin Fields goes out there and messes up there in Pittsburgh, do you think for 1 minute, for one New York minute that Mike Tomlin, come here, son, I need you to stand right here beside me, and I need to ask you a couple of questions. Not for 1 minute. And that's what needs to be going on with Kirk Cousins. Okay, look, you're going to miss some throws. You're going to do some things that you're going to make some mistakes. But when you throw directly to the opposition, I mean just throw it straight to it. What did you say?
I mean, they're not on the same page. That means they need to get back in the film room.
See,
point blank period.
That's my point. That's my point. And the thing is, before you get to the film room, you need to give CBS Sports some film to show of me digging in your rear end. Look here, man. What the hell are you damn doing?
I really look. I'm gonna be honest, guys.
Oh, man.
I would pay anything to see John as a coach for the Falcons, because just either him be the get back man or him to get in on
look for $60,000 a year just to get the coach back. Man,
he'll get fired on the first day. He'll get fired the first day. Come on, let's keep it real.
So,
hey, I already got put out a flowery branch when Matt Ryan was here.
See what I mean?
I got one question. Who's supposed to be teaching who? Is that Robinson supposed to be teaching Coach Cousins or vice versa?
Kirk Cousins is supposed to be Zach Robinson, eyes on the field. He's supposed to manage the game. He's supposed to keep him in line and keep him to what's going on, because he's the one supposed to be helping him transition into being an offensive coordinator since it's his first time. He's the veteran. He's supposed to be the guy that be watching everything on the field, report back to him. Okay, we see this, I see that, but it's not going that way.
But Smitty, and Ron, let me stick this in there. How can he do that when he's learning this man's brand new offense that he has never had?
Well, really, as I was told, it was supposed to be the same type offense.
That's what we were all told. Was the same. Yeah, that's what all of us were told. And hold on, we're also going to let Ladarius, because he hasn't spoken on. So I wanted Ladarius to come in on this.
I don't have to speak. I think everyone's got it covered here. I'm just here so I won't be fined, and I'm doing pretty good right now.
So you've been out for a couple of weeks. I need you here. Yes, go ahead there.
See, Doug, I got to get out of here, man. I got to get ready for my show in 5 minutes. So thank you for inviting me on. I will definitely be back on. But I'll be on the NFC South Roundtable. Y'all can catch that on YouTube in 5 minutes. I'm finna go off on that Saints fan, because we finna have some fun. We finna chop it up. And I just hope y'all got y'all bail money. That's all I got to say.
We got you. We got you. Smitty's heart. He's the god.
$2 in it.
I'll put $5. Don't worry. I got you. That, and I got a chisel. I know how to get you out.
And I put a bucket of KFC in it.
Terry, all you gotta do is play a game of spades and win some money, and we good to go.
All right.
But I'll holler at y'all later, man.
All right.
Have a good one. Man,
folks, that was Smitty. Check him out, Smitty's Sports Machine on YouTube. Man's everywhere. He's almost as legend. He's trying to approach the legendary status of Ladarius over here. So I mean, hey, he gave you a shout out, man. I'm just saying, man. You
Hey.
feel honored there. All right. So, yeah, my thoughts on this real quick, and then we're going to go back around. Look, the coaching is Bob. Here's the thing. I like the energy that we had coming into the season, but now I'm questioning why do I feel like this is more Dan Quinnish? Why do I feel like this is more I'm trying to build you up, but we're like, where's the substance? And look, we've got to see some results because, like I just said, the next from week 5 to all the way to week 10 is nothing but NFC teams. And if you're saying we're going to be in the playoffs, well, this is where you want to make your hay. This is where you want to make this happen. I have a beard. Can I get? You sure can, Larry. Look, this is what I'm talking about. When people ask me, I have to deliver. Larry asking if he could be in the part of this. I can't say no to my cousin Larry. We're family. Larry, if you want in, come on in. I tell you what, we got to have Larry in. But no, but I just think with this game, you got to send a message where you can't keep, like everyone said, you can't continue to hope that you are going to be getting a fumble snap on a punt return. You can't hope to get a batted ball for an interception. Look, Koo's going to make his field goals. I don't have a problem with Koo. I like Koo. I like to use him less though, or I like to see Koo kicking extra points. How many of us would like to see that? I mean, that's what I would like. I want to see him. It's like when we need him, we get him. But man, I like Kurt, but I was concerned. After getting hurt with the ACL, this was going to be a different Kurt. Are we seeing that? I'm not ready to say bench the guy. I'm saying we got to play him because, look, you paid the money, might as well. But I tell you what, though, it would be nice. I think I would feel better. I don't know about y'all. I think I would feel better if he was connecting with, if not just Bijan, but with Drake more as well as Pitts. But I see Mooney and Ray, and I'm going, he could get with the vets. What's missing with the young guys? That's one thing. And before, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. ATL down. Ladies, look, first of all, y'all, if you don't know this man, first of all, y'all should, because this is the voice of YouTube commentary for everybody. He covers the Hawks. He covers the Braves. He'll cover the Falcons. I mean, I almost want to say that, Al Michaels may be wanting you to take over for Thursday Night Football if you're not careful, Larry. But
I'll take his money.
Yeah, I know. I would too. So, folks, this is Larry Dixon from the Dixon Way. Larry, you ask, you got a beard. You can always come. Besides, you my family, so you part of family, so I can always
beard game. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? Welcome to the show. What's your thoughts about you know what? You could talk about, takeaways from game 4 or with the Saints, or you could talk about what we have to do to get this W against Tampa Bay.
To get the W against Tampa Bay, man, we got to establish the run. We ran the ball a grand total of 15 times. No, 16 times. No, 15, excuse me. Yeah, 8 by Algiers and then 7 by Bijan. We have to establish the run. Here's the thing. The problem ain't Kirk Cousins. The problem ain't the offensive line. The problem is our rookie offense coordinator, who needs to figure out what he wants his team to be. We have the personnel of a running team. We're trying to be a running gun team. Those two things don't mesh. They don't mesh. Our pass blocking is poor. Our run blocking is good. Even with Storm Norton in there right now, he's pass blocking good. Algiers got in there. Ain't running east and west, running north and south. Another issue. We need to figure out what we're going to be and how we're going to utilize these players. Because right now, that's the biggest weakness. Did any of you guys see Kirk Cousins screaming at the quarterback coach when he was talking and relaying what was going on with the play? When they did that 5 wide and tried to throw a little screen. And Kirk Cousins stormed off the field and they kicked another field goal. Yeah, there's And I was talking to people on Twitter and this, and they was like, "Oh, you're making stuff out of it," because I was like, y'all notice how Kirk Cousins said the best thing about being a Falcon is the atmosphere at the Dome with people doing swag surfing, not playing for offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. About the swag surf. All you looking into stuff, you're making something out of nothing. I said, y'all didn't see that argument, that heated argument on the sideline?
I was
What you
wondering.
talking about?
Yeah,
I said, go
nobody
back and
really
watch.
saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, go back and watch. I'm telling you. So
Larry, let
yeah,
me stop. What do you think that argument was about?
we being too cute.
Offensive coordinator, yeah. All right.
Yeah, we're being too.
And see, that's why I say he need to be down there on the field to get that smoke. Right down there on the field.
No. If he can't see it up there, he definitely not going to be able to see it on the sidelines.
Agreed.
He's not going to be able to see it on the sidelines.
Agreed.
Well, I'm continuing. Then see now, Sean McVay is down there on the sideline.
Yeah, but Sean McVay is different.
He's the head coach. But go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry.
A lot of coaches can't see it like that, John. Some coaches can't be on the field and see it like they have the bird's eye view. Some guys got to have the bird's eye view. That's why they sit up in the booth. That's how they've been taught how to coach. He needs to be up there. If he can't see what's going on from up there, he definitely ain't gonna see it from the sideline.
Agreed.
But
he's not.
Okay, now this is my problem with that. What they show you play by play is in reaction to what you do. And that changes every play. So that's why I'm thinking about this. And I understand what you guys are saying. You know, you can see how they react to what it was that you did then. All right. You can have a bird's eye view about what's going on. But the defense has changed from play to play.
Yes.
And your quarterback on the field, he's the last line of, I guess you could say, defense, as far as being able to read what the defense is about to do based on what you're showing them at the line. Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't he have a mic in his helmet? Doesn't he have a mic in his helmet? The quarterback.
Yeah, but you cut that off at 10. I think they cut off like at 15 seconds or something like that.
15 seconds, the microphone cuts off.
Right.
So a lot of defenses, they know that's the case. So they may show you something
and then switch it around.
Play,
boom.
And then when the mic goes off, they go into something else. You know, because you'll see from time to time quarterbacks, once they jump into whatever it is that they jump into, quarterback call timeout.
Audible.
Or an audible. True.
Yeah.
A timeout or an audible.
Yeah.
Isn't that on Kirk?
Yeah, yes, that's on Kirk. But
see,
if you got 5 wide receivers out there, okay, you got 5 wide receivers out there, and the audible, based on what you see out there, calls for a running play being more successful. You don't have a running back out there.
Then you call timeout.
So see, that's what I'm saying about that person upstairs. That person upstairs cannot react to that. It has to be on your quarterback and your offensive coordinator to be able to decipher what's going on out there on the field. Can I be successful in the play that is called? Can I do it? And see, thing is, because of that, that's why I say that offensive coordinator needs to be down on the field. So every time, offense come out the field, y'all need to be talking, not to the quarterback coach, not to the get back man, but talking to that offensive coordinator. You know, and y'all working this out right there on the side of the field.
I have 2 questions, right? Again, I'm not disagreeing with you. This is
no.
exercise. So
this is what we do. We just talk. It's all good, Terry. You could ask.
Oh yeah. Hey man, ask me anything.
If he's got the microphone, can they not converse when he goes to the sideline? Can he not have a conversation in the mic with the?
I don't know about those rules. I think that's why.
Helmet.
It's in the helmet, and what they do is I think it's cut off in between that, but that's why he was sent by the offensive coordinator, because he had a headset directly to offensive coordinator. Okay. So he's screaming. He ain't really screaming at the quarterback coach. He's screaming at the offensive coordinator.
So here's my thing with that, right? And I agree 100%. with the Dixon way because everybody's personality is different. Now, John, you have a point. I'm not saying you don't, right? But let's look at background. What has he done? Before he became a coach, he was what? He was an analyst, right?
Yeah.
Which means he just basically watched film. He did coach when he went to the Rams, but this is his everything from my view has been like there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
It's been from a bird's eye view perspective, right?
Oh,
I don't know. And again, just thought exercise, right? I respect everybody on here. I want to say that. So I just want to I really don't see that being right now, maybe a year from now, right? But to Dixon Way's point, if you can't see it from up there, right? If you can't see when you pull this guard what they're doing from a defensive perspective, you're definitely not going to see it on the 50-yard. You're not going to see it, right? Now, if you want to say, well, you can talk about it, you could talk about it, but if you don't have, I guess what I'm saying is, to me, he needs more experience. And
I definitely agree with that.
there's no experience. You know what I mean? You can't.
Yeah.
You there's nothing you can do about that, guys. We just got to eat that, right? We just got to live with it. It's unfortunate. And
where you at, John?
That's hard.
Where you at, John? I know you got a PlayStation 5, John.
Come on, John. You know you got this.
Oh, yeah. I got one. And see,
That's what we doing.
And I be in my quarterback behind every doggone play.
Yeah.
Hold on. And then hold on. Problem is though, John has to look in the mirror and go, why did I throw that?
Yeah, but I ain't got nobody else to blame.
All right, so my bad. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
Do you think Raheem Morris will have that talk with Zach Robinson?
That's a good question.
Not
You
sure.
know what? I'm thinking that Raheem Morris is running this team the same way Dan Quinn did. He's staying completely away from the offense and letting the offensive coordinator run the offense, and he is more akin toward the defense. Now, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, because he has that same dumb expression on his face, regardless as to what happens on offense.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up. Now, what happened to Dan Quinn?
He got fired.
They fired him because the team was based around offense, but he was a defensive coordinator.
Right.
And again,
he ran out of other folks.
The people who we drafted, we came into the season saying that the offense was going to carry us, right?
Right.
And Raheem was here to fix the defense.
Right.
Which him and Jimmy Lake look like that's what they've done. But the offense, look,
it's suspect.
And because it's suspect, because we got a tiptoeing first, number one halfback, which I still really like, but he don't hit the whole hard like Algiers.
Mm-hmm.
We see that. We saw the comparison. And we got a tight end that's not a tight end. I think that's the biggest flaw in this offense, more so than, outside of the offensive coordinator. I think when you see Kyle Pitts, he's a wide receiver in a tight end's body.
Right.
Yeah.
Drake London is more of a tight end than Kyle Pitts. Meaning,
I'm glad you said that, man.
Yeah, they keep putting.
Okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
If let's just say put him at a wide receiver. We picked up two tight ends this offseason, and we had not even seen them.
He's a horrible route runner.
Okay.
He can't be a wide receiver. Defenses are putting corners on Kyle Pitts, and he is not boxing them out like he should.
So
he's lazy out of the breaks. He's lazy out of the breaks, and he's not boxing people out. There was a play on one of the 3 attempts. They tried to do a curl, and he let that tiny cornerback come around, reach around, and knock that ball out of his hand.
Right.
He's supposed to be like this, back him down, like Mutombo, R.I.P. Mutombo. But back him down, you get that wide stance, that ball come in there, catch it with your fingertip, don't let the ball get to your body. Boom, and pull it in.
Yeah.
Drake London got more tight end skills than Kyle Pitts.
Kyle
But,
Pitts.
yeah, Drake London
So-
don't get no separation, but he'll make that hard catch over something.
Right.
He
So
catches that very well.
my whole thing is this off season coming up. Why don't Raheem Morris tell Kyle Pitts, hey player, we don't want to see you. Go work out with Tony Gonzalez the whole off season. Or Shannon Sharp.
Shannon was doing something else,
Run.
especially with
Right.
Michelle.
First of all, you don't want him around Shannon Sharp. He might grab one of them blue chews. But
Hey,
Oh,
No, did he?
but no, on a serious note, no, I don't think Kyle Pitts is here after next season.
I
I don't know what you're talking about working out something.
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
That's where I was finna go.
Yeah.
What if they just showing the whole world how Kyle Pitts is and trying to get the best draft pick that they get for him?
Ron,
A fourth
Ron,
round, maybe.
Ron,
A fourth rounder, maybe.
Ron, I love you. I got to say this to Ron. Ron, I love you. But come on.
Hey,
The man got no catches.
wait a minute. We seen what happened to our backup quarterback. He played the whole preseason. And they got a trade. And they traded their ass out of here.
All right,
the
hold
Chargers.
on. Time out. I got it. I'll play this because Zach Robinson issue with the offense. He's lacked that experience. All right. My question is this also, because Ron just brought up trade. There's a certain guy that, in Las Vegas, who's a pretty dominant receiver that, Devontae Adams, who I know his hands aren't questionable. So what's to say we could talk to the Oakland, or Las Vegas, see if they're gullible enough to maybe take Pitts and a second-round draft pick?
Money.
All right, well, I mean, I'll do whatever we got to.
Well, you
No. We don't. I don't think we can. I don't think he would fit on our
Cap.
on our roster.
Oh,
And before you send Kyle Pitts any place, he needs to have a 3-day date with the jugs machine about 5 feet away from it.
John,
Yeah.
that's not my problem.
Set it on high, and just beat the snot out of it. If you ain't gonna catch it, this ball going in your face.
Mhm.
I'm serious. Because see, the thing is that it doesn't make no sense because Larry, you pointed it out, Ron, you pointed it out,
Yeah.
and everybody on the panel is pointed it out.
Mhm.
Laziness. It's just like I'm looking at Rashid Hageman all over again when he first got here.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
Rasheed Hageman, the tight end,
Yeah,
look like Tarzan.
Mm-hmm.
You know the rest.
I like jail.
And see that man, I'm glad. Y'all better be glad that we couldn't go up the Flowery Branch. You better be glad we couldn't go up the Flowery Branch because they be taking me out of there again because see, I will tell them, look here, hey boy, come here. What you doing? You want me to come out there and show you how to catch it?
Larry, that would be
I'm
great.
serious. You have to really put your foot in people behind. I mean, if you gonna coach, do you think Tomlin would let anybody on the Pittsburgh Steelers get away with dogging it?
Nah, I would take Washington right now, who they just drafted from the University of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I would take him. I would trade him to Pittsburgh right
that.
now for Pitts.
I would love to have Washington. Anyway.
Yeah, look.
Or Brock Bowers.
Well, that ain't never gonna happen.
They're not letting go of Brock Bowers for Kyle.
Good job. Hey, I
Wow.
can dream, can I?
You can
No,
dream.
not about that.
Yeah.
That dream ain't gonna happen. You'll get Devontae Adams before you get Brock Bowers. But
Look, my dream of
on
becoming
Devontae-
offensive prime before that happens.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, that's not gonna happen.
But that Devontae Adams' money's not gonna match. I don't think we can.
No, it
afford
won't. No, we can't afford it.
I was
Even
just kind of hoping on the dream.
Same thing with Riddick, with Hassan Riddick. We can't afford him. He's not gonna play until he get his major deal. We got 2 guys on this team with 1-year prove-it deals. We just can't up and get somebody, then ask somebody else. The only person we can ask to push that money back is Kirk, and he not doing it because we drafted his replacement. He's definitely not doing.
Yeah. Oh, you got to pay him.
If he push his and then if you push it back, it's worse than Matt Ryan. If you push it back,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
don't.
you can't push it back. If you push it back, then you make his contract just like Matt Ryan's, but worse. So
Can
you
you
got
turn
to,
the rest
if you
of
eat
it?
1 year, if you eat 1 year of it, like next year, if you feel like you draft your right tackle, that's gonna be Michael Penix's blind spot. Draft you a real tight end. You know what I'm saying? And what about this, guys? What if you trade Bijan to try to get you a pass rusher? You know what I'm saying? Since it depends on if you feel like you can move forward it with Algier. What value? What are you going to get the most out of? Are you going to get the most out of a Bijan trade or Algier trade? That's the question, more so than anything.
Well,
But you got a luxury
definitely
right now.
Bijan
I'm just
trade.
trying to think of things. But Judon needs some help. Judon is doing everything he can. He's getting held on his sleeve. His sleeve is going which everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You see it every time. They holding his sleeve, and they just
You need to take him off.
They're holding
He
his
need to
sleeve. They're
take him
holding him
off.
every time, John. They're holding.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I see it. I see it.
So we need some help on the other side. Big Grady is not getting any push over there. We're sending 4 men, but in a 3-4, that's sending a blitz. Because you're in the 3-4, your front line, your front three not getting pass rush
with a
penetration.
linebacker.
Your linebackers got to cover. And shout out to Troy Anderson, who had the best game in his career.
He really did.
But he only had one. He had 17 tackles. But he only had one for a tackle for loss. The rest of them were key Brooklyn like.
Well, here's
5,
the question
6,
I have.
8 yards down the field. So I want that Troy Anderson if I can get that. But if both our middle linebackers are weak against the run, what are we doing? Because if Taysom Hill don't get hurt, we lose that game.
Yeah, I believe so.
On 27 yards.
Now see. Oh, anybody else wanted to go?
Well, I was just gonna bring up because when you know, one, I know Ron may have to get going because he's got Talk Your Ish later. So, Ron, if you're still with us, do you have anything else, or you gonna head out, or what's up? All right, we'll get with Ron when he gets back. But also, I know Ladarius, what's your thoughts? I mean, like I said, this is just like what I mean. Besides, because we got our line hurt, but some are to me. I think our problem and our big weakness is the third down. We can't get the ball. We can't stay on third down on offense, and then defense, we can't get them off the field. What say you, Ladarius?
Oh, well, I was happy listening the whole time, but
I got to keep you involved.
No, everyone's doing a great job. But no, I wanted to go back. I wanted to share my thoughts on the Bucks game because I didn't get a chance to share my thoughts. You know, I think we all talked about the offensive coordinator. Me and John agreed on the bust and the running of the over of, but we can't say when it happens, but if we just happen to be, we happen to get a bust and and Zach comes out like, hey Zach, can you come look at this? And then someone's behind the wheel of a bus, things happen every day. But accidents happen every day. But see in the news all the time.
Stop trying to kill off the coordinator. Let's talk.
I didn't say kill. You said kill. I said unsolved mysteries. I didn't say kill.
Happy accidents.
Yeah, I took criminal justice. I know the right specifics to say I didn't say kill. I just say accidents happen.
Hey, you need insurance against accidents.
There you go. There you go. We got Tom Hagen right there. There you go. He runs all this. I don't need to do anything.
You need insurance against accidents.
What did 330 say? 330 said we need a T1000.
Yeah, he said T1000 in some offensive packages.
Hey, look. Baltimore had a 300-pound fullback.
Yep.
In front of Derrick Henry.
Yep.
But that's not our look. We don't even have anyone on our entire roster.
That's the problem. But Larry, the past 2 years, we did have a fullback. That's how we got our running reputation with that fullback back there. Okay,
All right.
Well, that's not the offense we run now, John.
yeah, man, I
Now,
can't
look, I can't make Zach Robinson want to run a traditional offense. I can't force him to run the ball. All I'm saying is we have no offensive balance right now.
Go ahead,
That's a
Ladarius.
problem.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's
I'm
a
good.
problem.
Like I said, I'm just
Kirk
here.
Cousins is a play action quarterback. He's not sitting in the shotgun all the time. I don't know what
after
to
week
say.
one.
I mean,
After we
TDF
hung our foot in they behind week one. Oh,
is
practically Kirk Cousins can move. I said, what?
do you think
Whew.
T Will, do you think that A, can we establish a run first? B, will our offensive coordinator actually do that? And C, I know Bijan is hurt, so we're going to see a lot of Tyler Algiers. If we have success, remember we had success in beating Tampa Bay with Tyler Algiers in the first Tampa game in Tampa. If it's a repeat with two different coordinators and we get the same results against our main rival, a contender in this division, you think a decision will be made, or you think it's just Bijan's job to keep?
Who's our next running back?
First,
Who?
okay. I'll tell you what, Mr. John. Let me answer. Okay, so third string is who's our third stringer anyway? Who is it?
Chase. It's the kid from
Chase
Alabama.
McClellan.
Yeah,
The kid from Alabama, yeah.
and he's on the practice squad because we don't play rookies.
So the
We're
answer,
gonna have to activate him. You're gonna have to activate him.
Yeah, he was inactive.
yeah. So
He's
that
gonna have to be activated this week.
to answer your question, I think we can win with Algiers. I mean, we've proven that twice, right?
Mhm.
Will I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I don't know Zach. I don't know Zach. I don't know if he's approachable or not approachable. He would seem to be approachable, but I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dixon. I agree with a lot of what you said. Number one, you said we are a running team and we are trying to pass block. And I'll take it a step further, probably out of formations that we are not comfortable doing it to this point, right?
Ding, ding, ding.
So, and I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I think what you're saying is let's come out and run and establish the run and then go to play action, which would seem logical. My only question is, why do you? And I know it's been 4 games. Do you think that maybe that ankle is tender? Do you think that maybe that Achilles heel is tender? Because I don't see any other logical reason as to why. I think we're still in the pistol, what, 30% of the time?
Yep.
No, more than that.
What?
It's more like 60 to 70 because we threw the ball 37 times. Hold on, let me go back up. I know we ran the ball 15 times. We ran the ball 15 times, and Kirk Cousins threw it 35 times.
Is it that you think that that Achilles heel is tender, or is it that we know we can't come out and traditionally have Kirk under center and block in the traditional fashion and get away with it? Do are we saying, look, we can get away with this 30% of the time, but we can't come out and have Kirk under center 60% of the time because we just don't trust this offensive line? And I'm throwing it out there. I'm not saying it.
No. I see what you're saying. I think this offensive line was meant to drive block and show run when it's really pass on play action. I think that's what they were built for.
Okay.
I think that our best positive plays have been on play action. You know what I'm saying? Or running from under center has been our best run plays. We haven't had really that much success running from the shotgun.
So then my next question is, why do it?
Because
your offensive coordinator.
It's one of the things. It's either Kirk don't have the speed to get out of the break, running 60% of the time out of under center. We haven't run one naked bootleg for him. He was famous for that.
Yeah.
So
But he's
again,
slow as Christmas, though, Larry.
he's
He's slow
is.
as Christmas. Now, to my man's
So-
point, could that be because of the Achilles? And something else I want to bring up now, Carl Dukes,
Yeah.
they had a stat that said that Kirk Cousins was only pressured on 22% of the snaps that he threw from. So your
Okay.
offensive line this
Well, they
past
look
week
good. Yeah,
did
they
a
look
pretty
good.
good job.
No, they look good, man. They look
Yeah,
really
they
good.
did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is Kirk Cousins, and I've been seeing it every week. He'll start out bip, 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 throwing the ball. But as the game progresses, he starts shopping, starts looking, starts taking too much time. That strip sack was because he held the
Yeah, held
ball
on
too
the ball.
long.
I agree.
You know, so and the offensive line gave him at that particular time, I think it was around about 4.5, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I for the life of me, why I've been asking this question. Your offensive coordinator, and it's going to be your offensive coordinator all day long. Why aren't you developing quick passing plays to where your receivers react before the defense can? No matter what they show.
We saw miscommunication on that, John. Remember when he almost threw a pick to the man?
Mm-hmm.
Not when he fell down and threw the pick, but it was another one that he almost threw. The wide receiver didn't check to the hot route. And Kurt was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
So it was like again, that's the fourth preseason, guys. I really hope that our coach comes off this stand and he will not pit or not play his players in preseason. Because we're watching preseason right now, guys.
Yeah.
We're in the fourth game of the season. We're still watching preseason for the offense. And normally in preseason, the defense starts off much faster than the offense. We all know it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're watching right now.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we are 2-2. Because if we were 1-3 or winless, it'd be a totally different tune.
Absolutely.
So right now, we got everything ahead of us. I predicted we were going to be 2-2. So I feel like my 12-5 is still intact. I feel like this is the time we're about to go on a run. About to play out a division. I will say that the Commanders and Seattle Seahawks do look better than what I thought they were going to be. So that's going to be harder games than I thought. But overall, man, I think we're on track. We just got to put it together. And more so than anything, I think that our rookie coordinator needed those reps with the players, more so than the players needed reps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just took it as, hey, everything gonna be all right. We got veterans, we got this young talent that's come of an age that's supposed to be going into their prime. Let's go. But the defense been carrying us. And guys, I gotta get ready for this stream because I got the Braves coming on at 8:30.
All right.
I just want to pop in a little bit, show some love to you guys.
No problem. I'm so glad you got to come by.
Hey, Dixon Wayne, I thought about that. Dixon Wayne, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I thought about what you said the other day about Acuna, and I'm still turning it over, man. I'm not. You got me thinking. I'll put it that way. You got me thinking. You really do. So we'll talk about that another time. Because I know you got to go. I wanted you to know you really got me thinking. Because at first I was like, oh no, and then I got the thing. I'm like, well, I don't know. So
for that to happen, we got to win the World Series.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we got to survive Bryce Elder, AJ Smith, Shawver pitching tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we got a bullpen game at the start of the playoffs. A bullpen game. So next man up. Chris Sale ain't even on the playoff list. So we got to make it to the divisional round for him to even be able to pitch. So hopefully he'll be all right and he'll stop having back spasms. But it's been next man up all season. So why should anything change?
Of course.
Why should anything change? Oh, the Mets is whooping the Brewers too right now.
Yeah. I just saw that. They're getting on them. All right, Larry. All right. Thank you so much, brother. A-Town down.
All right, y'all take it easy, man.
All right.
Peace. Have a great stream.
All right, man.
All right, later.
All right, that was Larry from the Dixon Way. We're about to wrap up. We're on that home stretch, and sorry about that. Been trying to stay focused here. Also, by the way, folks, that NFC South showdown, definitely look for it. They're doing the round table. Smitty's having a whole lot of fun with Mr. Tony for
Good.
Mr. Safe Man.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
he kept on waving to him. It was hilarious. Because, of course, Tony's like, oh, it's not a bad week. I had a good week. I've had a good week. And it's like, it's almost when I wanted to say when you know you're in denial.
Lie don't care who tell it, and a fart don't care who smell it.
Amen.
Exactly.
John, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm old school, and I got a feeling you are too.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Repeat that. I didn't hear that clearly. What you say?
I said I am old school, and I have a feeling that you are too. Right?
Man, you just have no idea. But go ahead, sir.
All right. Me personally, okay, and I know you can't tell it now because I can't see my shoes, but back in the day, I used to be an athlete. Okay, I've seen ACLs come back in 8 months. I've seen it. I've never seen a torn Achilles and you be back in under a year fully functional. Right? I've never seen that. First off, has anybody on this panel ever seen someone tear an Achilles?
Tear an Achilles. Okay, just
I've never seen it.
I have.
Oh, you have.
Yeah.
And it's nasty.
It is.
It is not something that you ever want to see.
Dominique. I saw Dominique tear you.
Yes. First off, I'm this got to be 20 years ago because I could see my shoes. I'm playing center field in some softball game, and the pitcher tears his Achilles, and you can hear the pop in center field. Right? And his leg is like jelly. He's got
just flat.
Right. He's got to be helped off the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
My point that I'm making is I don't know that Kirk is going to be healed fully until next season. He might be able to pass the ball, but somebody mentioned a waggle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or bootleg.
Or bootleg.
Yeah. He can't.
Those are things you have to do when you're healthy. And it's interesting that we haven't seen one, right?
Nope, not yet.
No.
I think the first one we see will be the first one.
And this is game 4, right? It's interesting that 60% of our formations are shotgun or pistol, right? So, I'm just saying they might not come out and say it, but then do they really have to? You get what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense?
Man, okay.
Well,
hold on. Okay, I was gonna I got to because I'm the host. Because T, what you just said has been the stuff I've been wondering out loud in my own head.
Yeah.
So you're trying to tell me you want an elite processor of the football. Y'all remember Raheem talking about that.
Right.
And then they go get Kirk Cousins. And John, I think we did a show on this. And I said, he got hurt at week 8. That's not week 1. And Winston said the same thing. Winston, if he was here, he'd say the same thing. That Kurt, Aaron had more time to heal than, Kurt did.
Right.
And, you bringing this up, I got to go here. There are times we're watching Kurt play, and this is why it's frustrating me when people say, well, Kurt's going to get it right. Kurt's going to get it right. This might be the new Kurt, folks, because he's having to adapt from being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, go ahead and answer, John and Ladarius, because I want to hear y'all's take on this, because this is something that I've been wanting to know, too.
Well, since you said that.
Yep.
And the gentleman preceding you said what he said.
Mr. T. Will. Yep.
I now have to ask, what does medically clear to play mean?
Thank you.
Sorry. Well, no, I'll tell you. It doesn't mean that you could do what you did last year. It just means that medically you can play without further injuring yourself. It just means that right now you are 100%. That doesn't, because there are two things that come into this, right? A part of it is physical, but a part of it is also mental, right?
Okay. Oh,
Whereas
no doubt.
when you okay, can I make this throw? Because it's a natural thing. Do I trust this thing, right? And look, everybody on here has probably been athletic. We've probably all played sports. We've probably all been hurt. You ever get a leg injury, it takes a minute before you can trust it again.
Yeah.
You rip it.
Right. Well, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, cause see, thing is, when we discussed this, I was talking about my patella tendon injury that I had.
Yes.
And see, it's a humbling thing to see your kneecap halfway up your leg.
Yes.
Okay. And
I have a friend who tore his patella, and it took him a year. And it took,
you
know what? It might take him a year and a half because he's not.
Yeah.
So it might, how long did it take you?
It took me, physically 6 weeks, physically and mentally about a year, because every time I got close to what my body thought the move was that made me tear it, there was a hesitancy. I don't want to do that. Or I would do something crazy. And a couple of the people used to always tell me, hey, stop doing that, because see, you might tear something else even worse with that old flicked move you making, trying to keep from making the move.
And and you know what? That's what happens to a lot of guys. What you described happens more so. It happens to a lot of guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And see, now and the reason why I asked that, okay, if you're medically cleared to play, you're speaking of physical. You're definitely speaking of the physical ability to play.
Right.
Now, I'm thinking, and this is me, when I was rehabbing for that patella tendon, I took that opportunity to rehab everything. Stronger upper body, stronger arms, the patella tendon tore on the left leg. Okay, I'm gonna strengthen the right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I'm thinking that a person is supposed to do in rehabbing for that particular injury, because the thing is, only so much rehab you can do on that before you overdo it. Okay. Sure. But everywhere else, you need to get stronger there too, because the thing is that you're just trying to get back to where you were when you rehab an injury. Just get back to where you were. All right.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, if you don't exercise it, you're gonna lose it. And you remember I gave the example a few months back. Can you, if you've been playing spades,
I love how spades keep coming back.
Take a year off from playing spades, are you the same person after you start back?
No, sir, I'm not.
Nope.
I just use spades. I ain't even talking about the physical nature. So right now, Kirk Cousins is an unknown. I saw what he did prior to him getting injured.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm seeing him without benefit of preseason work.
Mm-hmm.
Coming
preseason that he wanted
season, to. What was that?
Preseason that he wanted to. He
wanted to play in. And see, the thing is that was further seasoning. That was further rehab for him to get out there under center in a game type condition against other professionals, not the people you playing with, not a defense where you got a red shirt on and a do not touch label on,
where the team goes, don't touch him.
Yeah. That's why I used to always say you can't keep people in bubble wrap and then unwrap them at the beginning of the season and throw them out there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think his hands were kind of tied. I can see it both ways, right? Because Kirk is 36, right? And heaven help you if you turn him loose on that first game and he hurts himself again. You know what I mean?
I understand. I understand.
I'm not
I understand, but
Mr. John, I promise you, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not.
Oh, I recognize that. I definitely recognize that. But
Yeah.
see, the thing is, it's like you said, he between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
He between a rock and a hard place. But I look at other coaches with similar situations.
Yep.
You know, and what they do. All right. If you are willing to sacrifice, and there were some people saying it's going to take 6 weeks in order for Kirk Cousins to get back the way that he was, or whatever, something of that nature.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, I heard.
So now, are you willing, with the schedule that we have, as well as what everybody is anticipating for us to do, can you afford to wait 6 weeks, stumble, rumble, bumble, rumble around, and play yourself out of the playoffs?
Yeah. Honestly,
I mean that's what you're looking at.
That's you know what? Hey, and guys, that's I mean, we could talk about that all night, right? Because pros and cons on both sides. And again, John C Dub Ladarius, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying, thank God I'm not him, because I could truly see it from both sides, right? I could see, they did it, right? But you also see that Kirk is not 100% Kirk. I don't care what they say, and no disrespect to the Falcons. Look, I'm not a coach. I don't play the game. This is just John Q Sports guy sitting at the bar having a drink or two, okay? But Kirk is not 100%.
No.
Whether they say it or not, you can see Kirk is not 100%, right? So I don't know. So that being said, hey, I got to drop. I have a show in about 3 minutes. Ladarius, again, good meeting you. Mr. John, hey, love it. Enjoy it. Nice meeting you, sir. C-Dub, I appreciate you. Thank you.
No problem. See you Friday.
You can find me at One Time for the Fan, typically Sundays, Wednesdays, Sunday night, 8, Wednesday night, 8, Friday morning, 9 a.m. Also for my ATL Sports 1, again, the number 4, my ATL Sports 1. Please like and subscribe. And you can find me there Friday night at 7, Saturday, anytime before the Braves game, typically afternoon, and typically Monday after the Falcons game, and we'll recap it. So with that being said, gentlemen, hey, thanks for having me. Oh, and by the way, let me go ahead and announce it now. Dub is joining our show, on Fridays. So we are
the characters.
We are happy to have him. And hey, man, please just punch. And gentlemen, with that being said, thank you for having me. To the fans of the show, thank you for having me, and thank God for giving me the opportunity. Hey, man, you guys have a great night.
You too, Jared.
All right, you too.
Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was T. Will. We want to thank him so much for being a part of it. I'm waiting Ladarius before we sign off, but I'll wait when he gets back. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be talking wrestling. I know we got some people asking me about that because, that documentary that came out yesterday, that was quite interesting about Mr. McMahon. So we'll definitely have that going on. So Ladarius will be watching the McMahon documentary so we can actually be able to talk about it. So, because I know, look, have your phone, watch NXT, and then you can watch McMahon. We just got to, because my God, the amount of quotes this guy said was just crazy. But I guess the last thing I got to say is back to what you and T. Will were talking about, John. I hate to say it. When you sign a guy that ruptures the ACL and expect him to be 100%, I don't know who is looking bad at that. Is it the GM? Do you look at the coaching? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Because this is why fans, I think, are getting aggravated when they see the product on the field and they're going, so is it Kurt? Is it the toys? Is it you? What is it? So what do you guys think? We'll start with Ladarius since he's back now.
Yeah, Ladarius, you go first, please, sir.
I will. Listen, everybody's been talking, and I've just been listening. So that's
You got your order. We know.
Yeah, listen. Well, yeah, I'm mad. Yeah, I'm probably gonna talk to Uber Eats later. But yeah, I'm missing my nuggets and I'm missing my milkshake. And
Okay.
Man,
Someone taking nuggets is punishable by death.
I took out all my stuff and I'm like, yeah, stuff doesn't feel right. And I was right. But anywho,
Yes.
But going back to I guess we'll talk about the issues or whatnot. I think we talked about it, or I'll just be really brief because I want to take up any more. But the reality is this, and like I said earlier in the show, I think John was on the episode. We talked about resumes. Look, we know everybody has a resume, and I understand that you got to have experience in order. Yeah, I get all of that. But if you're Raheem Morris, and listen, I didn't question the defense, but the offense was a lot of moving pieces, a lot of newer pieces. Here's the issue. The issue becomes, and then looking at this Buccaneers game, look, Tampa Bay, we talked about it, like their defense is pretty good. So here's the thing. On their defense, they blitz 34.7% of the time. That's the third most. And they pressure the quarterback 42 times. That's the fourth most. That's the Todd Bowles defense.
Mm-hmm.
And but the overriding penultimate question is, look, can this offense create consistent drives to keep Baker Mayfield off the field? And then when we make said consistent drives, can we exchange those 3 points for 6 points, depending extra point? Can we get 3 for 7? Because that's the question. Because that at the end of the day, if we expect to be something with the expectations, we got this. I think you mentioned these stretch of games.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this next month and a half or so, this is the test of the team. This is the test of Coach Raw and all the rhetoric. Is that what are we going to do offensively? Kurt, listen, you can pistol and shotgun at some point. At some point, when you're running at pretty much 2/3, a little more than 2/3 of the time, 3/5 of the time, I should say, we have to see something different from Zach Robinson as a play caller, because you're facing a guy in Todd Bowles who knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Bowles, been a head coach in this league, a long-time defensive coordinator. He knows this. That to me, that's the matchup. It's Todd Bowles and that defense against Zach Robinson and what he does as a play caller. It's not about the talent on the field. It's how Zach Robinson manages the talent on the field as a play caller. That's the question. Because at the end of the day, if this offense is not going to do, I don't care how great our defense is. If this offense, and I'm not going to read the numbers again for the sake of the people.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, on a short week, something's got to give, because you can't win games in the National Football League with field goals. You got to put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
And people are talking about Kyle Pitts, and I think the thing with Kyle Pitts is it's a mixture of both. I think there's a little bit of lackadaisical. I think there's a little bit lackadaisical, and some of it may be play calling. But penultimately, we need to see this offense. We're a month in at some kind of full potential, because we don't know what this identity of this offense. If somebody asks you, hey, what is the Falcons' identity on offense? We don't know. I know we can run the football. We can. I mean, we got Algier, we got Bijan. We can run the ball. Kurt needs to look more comfortable, and that falls on the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, to me, that's the key matchup. Is Todd Bowles and that defense, they're going to be ready. Because listen, yeah, we could talk about Baker all day long, but penultimately, this is about Todd Bowles and versus Zach Robinson.
Yeah.
That's the matchup, because at the end of the day, Zach Robinson has to show something. Because listen, people say, "Oh, you're 2-2." Yeah, that's great. But there's a lot of different ways you can get to 2-2, and because I could argue. Listen, there's a lot of games could have went the other way. But my overriding thing is this: I just need to see more from this offense. I need to see all this. I need to see Kurt do something. I need to see Zach Robinson utilize this man. I need to see utilization of this offense because, listen, there's no business in the world that while we have a great running game, why are we near the bottom of the league in third down conversions? Like, what are we doing? Because I think someone mentioned it.
Mhm.
There's a difference between 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 5. There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that's play calling. How you call 1st and 2nd down can dictate what you do on 3rd down, and maybe potentially, like John talked about, like the seat of your pants coaching, you might consider going for it on 4th down. If you come up a little short on 3rd, you might consider going for it on 4th. But it goes back to play calling. And you're facing a Tampa Bay team. Listen, they beat a very good Eagles team. And listen, short week, anything can happen. But I know what needs to happen is this offense needs to figure it out and figure it out soon. Because these stretch of games, we got to figure out that offense. The defense, I would like to see more blitzing, but I don't have really many notes for the defense in that regard. Special teams, listen, Younghoe Koo will probably end up kicking it all the way from Tampa. My guy's going to have to kick it all the way from the Atlantic Ocean. At this point, he's going to go outside the stadium and kick it from from Key West because that goes back to play calling. It's like you should put your kicker in the best position to win the game. So why are we trying to play hero ball? Get your kicker in the best position to win. It all goes back to Zach Robinson. It all goes back to him. So at the end of the day, that to me, Bowles versus Robinson is the matchup. And most importantly, can we sustain drives? Because listen,
yes,
my 3 T's: turnover, tempo, and time.
Yeah,
you got to win at least two of those 3 to do something. There's a little bit of anomalies, but you got to be consistent in those 3 in that department. So,
man, you got it. All right, John, what say you?
Well, he did just like Pittsburgh paints. He covered the globe. I have to agree with him 100% because of the fact that, okay, we see it. We see it.
Mm-hmm.
Us folk that work 9-to-5 jobs, and us folk that have played football, us folk that grew up on Madden, and a basic knowledge of football tells you that you cannot hang your hat on winning games like we won the last one. Okay, you just can't do it. You just can't do it. And like Ladarius was talking about the resume. See, that's the reason why on many jobs they ask you what type of training you have, and then they ask you about what type of experience you have.
Yeah.
Because when you go into this new job, your training and experience are going to have to be relied upon in order to do that job until you get your feet wet in that job to feel comfortable in your new job, because it's always different. You might be an electrician working for Mr. Sparky. All right. Mr. Sparky may do things a certain way. They may teach you a certain way. Now, there are some basic laws of electricity that everybody has to abide by, but Mr. Sparky might have some other ones. You leave Mr. Sparky and go to Electricians Are Us. Electricians Are Us takes a look at your qualifications, what you've done, that you're still alive after having dealt with electricity.
Yep.
And you start working with them, and they're going to teach you your procedures. It's the same thing with moving that inch from the passing game coordinator's chair to the offensive coordinator chair.
Yep.
It's an inch.
Yep.
But that's the longest doggone inch there is in sports. Moving from a coordinator a facet of a coordinator's job or a facet of the offense's job to the offensive coordinator's job, and then from the coordinator's job to the head coaching job. So right now, I'm seeing rookie mistakes. I'm seeing scared rookie calls. I'm seeing a quarterback that is not being held accountable for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you all said, the quarterback is teaching the offensive coordinator the offense.
Yeah.
In a new situation with an Achilles injury that he's trying to get over.
Yep.
Man, I mean, what else you gonna put in this stew?
What else can you do, sir?
I mean, what else you gonna put in the stew? Yeah, I mean, that's why, like I tell y'all, when you guys asked and other people have asked me, what do you think our record's going to be? I don't know. I have no idea. I always give people the first year to get their feet wet, but everybody has loaded this year with expectations of going to the playoffs. Okay,
yeah.
they've loaded this year. I mean, this man got a gorilla on his back, a 600-pound gorilla on his back. Okay, because you loaded this year with expectations. All right, there are too many things that are not settled on the offensive side of the ball, the money-making side of the ball, the point-scoring side of the ball, that you cannot sit up here and hang your hat on the offense doing their jobs every time, because it's just unsettled. Just unsettled. So Thursday, I'm just gonna look and I'm just gonna see what they're gonna do and how they're gonna take, how this is gonna play out. I have no predictions, I have no feelings. I just got to see what this is gonna look like.
All right. Hey, we have one more person coming in. So I'm going to have to say no more coming through the forbidden door after this one. Winston, you hear me? Are you there, boss?
Yeah.
Ah, good. We got Winston. Folks, this is Winston Thornton. He's the other half of the eye test. He's the other eyeball to the head eyeball that is John Harris here. So, Winston, what you thinking about this upcoming game, man? Maybe your thoughts on what's happened earlier with the Falcons against the Saints.
Well, I wonder if Winston's still on that work site.
Yeah, you still there, Winston?
Seeing Troy Anderson, he's still without that pick six, he still look a little suspect. Even though he had 16 tackles. He had a 2 tackles for loss. Still look a little suspect.
Yeah.
That one. All right, that's even worse.
Yeah, Larry brought that up to us.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what defensively. I understand what they're trying to do with him. I just don't think he's not to the level to do what they're trying to do with him. They're trying to use him like a Leonard Floyd, a Devin White, prime Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
Devin White back in Tampa. That speedy Navarro Bowman type linebacker. That sideline linebacker. And he don't pick up his reads fast enough for it. He can't get out blocked like that. That's a continuous thing. Like sooner or later, you got to put some bricks in your pocket. You got to hold your ground. You're a middle linebacker. You got to hold your ground. I'm sorry. There's no way that a guard should be pushing you 4-5 yards off the ball and then you tackling someone from behind. Like, no. Because you already gave up 4-5 yards.
Yeah.
That keeps their offense on schedule. Like, that makes no sense. But I'm glad that he got his first pick six. He was tripping for us winning the game. This offense has to get better.
Yeah.
But the offense looked terrible.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, the offense looked terrible.
Well, Ladarius, Ladarius told us that the offense and third down, or the red zone and the offense, they actually rank 29th. So that should give you an indicator about where we are offensively. You know, we can't stay on the field on offense, and then we can't get off the field on defense.
Yeah, I mean, like we're 31st in time of possession.
Yeah.
Let's put that in perspective. We're 31st in time of possession. That means there's only one team in the league that's worse than us.
Yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense with all the talent and all the money that's been funneled into the offense. That we can't stay on the field, we can't sustain a drive. And we're doing the same. We're doing the exact same thing that we did when we had DNP, and when we had Buddy from last year to going down to Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is sitting there trying to hold, and they're showing up, but eventually they're going to crumble. That's why you start to see injuries on defense because they're on the field too long.
Yeah.
Like the last 2-3 games, I think both opponents had over 35 minutes in time of possession each game. That's a shame.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. Because it's like we're not even. It's crazy when you need a stop, you can't get the stop. And
well, I mean, go ahead.
Well, no, it's just, me, Ladarius, John, we've had everybody coming in and talking about it. What do you feel, if you had, is it, a lot of the conversation has been, is it coaching or is it players? But is it simple as Zach Robertson and Kirk Cousins not meshing, or is it more than that?
Right now, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. So let's go back to the last drive, our last offensive drive.
Okay.
If you sit there, if you look over that drive, and I was sitting there yelling at the TV at it, every player of that drive, Bijan Robinson was wide open, flared out to the left. Mm-hmm. Wide open. They was giving up the underneath stuff. They just didn't want to get beat deep.
Yeah.
Well, all right. You don't need a touchdown. All you need is a field goal.
Yeah.
So why are you sitting there trying to take the top out of the offense? Off the defense. Why are you trying to push the ball on the field? Like that? That's on the quarterback. Because you have read. That's literally on the quarterback.
Yeah.
You're trying to be dynamic when it's not necessary to be dynamic. At this point in time, I just need you to be a good game manager and just pick up some yardage. That's all you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
They made that situation a lot tougher than what it needed to be. There was no reason that Kuz should have been kicking a 58-yard field goal when he could have been kicking a 48-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Easily. Bijan wide open in the flat. The corner is sitting there with the wide receiver, 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Then you give Bijan a head of steam. He's gonna make somebody miss. You saw that on the screenplay. If he get a head of steam where he can actually see the field before him, he's gonna make the first person miss.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I think Kirk biggest thing is Kirk is pressing to solidify himself in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
When all you gotta do is win games to solidify yourself in Atlanta. We're not asking to blow people out by 50 points. Just win us game consistently. That's all we need.
Yeah. No, man, no, it's fine because we're going to talk about this tomorrow night when we do the eye test. But guys,
you better bet it.
Oh yeah, you know it. So look, guys, we're gonna wrap it up because we got a couple of stuff that I know me and Ladarius got to watch up on. We got the debut of NXT on the CW, and I got it on pause right now. So this is the football show, not the wrestling show, girl. And then a sneak peek from my daughter, and my son's on the other side of me. So, but guys, I want to thank everybody. As you've been seeing the ticker that I put down there, want to thank everybody from the eye test. Winston, John, Talk Your Ish, Ron, Smitty Sports Machine. Smitty came in. T. Will himself, Terry from for ATL Sports 1, and Larry from the Dixon Way, who's probably now calling commentary for the Braves game here soon because it's the playoffs, and no better way to listen to it than listen to Larry speak the game. So go ahead, Winston, go ahead and plug the eye test, and then and whatever else you're a part of, and then we'll do the same for Ladarius and me.
All right. Well, Winston throwing one half for the eye test with my partner John Hurd. We on every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Falcon based content, but ain't no telling where the conversation gonna go. Follow us on YouTube, the eye test, Facebook group, the eye test, Facebook page, the eye test. Appreciate y'all for having me on.
Oh, no problem, Winston. So glad you got to be a part of the show, man. We're going to get you back on eventually where we can actually have you and people can see you in the velvet robe and all that good stuff. So,
yeah, man, I'm still at work.
I know, man. You're a hard-working man. So you take care of the fam, and I'll see you tomorrow night, all right?
All right. I'm going to get out of the way. Y'all have a good one.
You too. All right. We're going to go to Ladarius, my man. Go ahead and plug your stuff, and remember, y'all, you're going to see us tomorrow, but I'll let that come forth when I'm done.
We'll see after the post-show meeting. We'll see if I'll be here tomorrow.
You are going to be here tomorrow. Stop that.
We'll see. No, you can follow me on social media at Ladarius_Brown on both Twitter and TikTok. You can follow me on Instagram at Ladarius_Brown.
Yep.
Writing for Beyond Women's Sports. I'm going to preview of as I do every Thursday night, the Thursday night football game. So I'll be previewing the Falcons and Buccaneers game, and I'll be out on TikTok. They'll probably be out tomorrow. It will be out tomorrow. So look out for that. And great show as always.
Yeah, man. And this is why I enjoy having Ladarius here. We can start together, and next thing you know, we end together because that's the way we do this. And also, look, whoever messed up his Uber Eats order, he is going to find you, and he's coming for those nuggets.
Yeah.
I
got my money back. So,
yeah, that's all that matters because, no, you don't do that to us. Big men must have their nuggies. All right. Thank you, Dominic Mysterio, for that. So, folks, tomorrow night, you don't want to miss it. Me, Ladarius, Jerry, we're going to get into the Vince McMahon documentary, hopefully. We'll definitely be talking about what happened on Raw the past couple of weeks. So just give it, and then we'll probably talk about what happened here on NXT. The new logo is nice. I like it. Silver, looks tight. Can't wait to actually watch Julia come in. I actually have it on pause because I didn't want to get like watching it as everyone's talking.
Oh, so I can multitask. I'm like,
no, you good. You do it. I don't mind you doing it. You have a right to. So, but yeah, I like to try to stay because every time I watch something on TV, everybody hears it on mine. And I don't know why. So I always just play it safe. All right, man. Well, guys, we appreciate everybody. Appreciate everyone being a part of the show. Please like and subscribe. Hit channel C Double 28 where you will hear us talk to Falcons. And we'll also talk to WWE as well as AEW. So for Ladarius, for me, we'll all see you tomorrow night. All right, we're out of here. Peace.